The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Many of you may not be familiar with the writings of William Austin, since his main claim to fame is that he was the forerunner of the famous Nathaniel Hawthorne. But it is as sad in a way as this haunting tale I bring you that he should have been so overshadowed by his famous antecedent. For no more poignant and heartbreaking, while at the same time terrifying story could be told than this. The American version of the Wandering Jew, condemned and outcast, and the small, shivering, fever-racked child with the sad brown eyes innocently doomed to share his exile with him forever.
In his lightning flash, do you see?
My eyes are dazzled. What should I be seeing?
There, in the center of the cloud.
What?
An open carriage, drawn by a fierce black horse, and the child clinging in terror to the man. There he goes, the storm breather.
Our mystery drama, The Storm Breeder, was especially adapted from the classic William Austin story for the Mystery Theater by Ian Martin and stars Michael Tolan and Fred Gwynne. I'll be back shortly with Act One. For the strange, weird, unforgettable fragment of American history brought to you here, we are indebted, according to William Austin, to one Jonathan Dunwell of New York. Mr. Dunwell was a judge, and as such, a general officer of the court by profession, but by inclination, an antiquarian and a collector of American history. It is his manuscript we bring to life.
In the summer of 1820, business called me to Boston. I sailed in the packet to Providence, and when I arrived there, I learned that every seat in the stage was engaged. I was fortunate enough to find a seat with the driver. It being a pleasant night and he quite intelligent, we were chatting pleasantly when all of a sudden the horses drew their ears on their necks flat as a hare's, and the whole business of Peter Rugg began. What's the matter with the horses?
Have you a shirt, too, with you?
Well, I need no overcoat. My jacket is enough.
You'll need one soon. You see the horse's ears?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes. I was just about to ask why.
They see the storm breeder.
The who?
You'll find out, sir. Keep your eyes ahead.
I am. The road seems empty, and the weather is lovely, not a cloud in the sky.
But you will see him soon. For the weather that follows will blot out the sun.
Are you pulling my leg, driver?
I wish I were, Mr. Dunwell, sir. Here, sir. Wind this blanket about you.
But the sun is shining, and
Listen to what I say. Protect yourself as much as you can.
Approaching us was a weather-beaten chair, once built for a shaved body, drawn by a great black fiery horse, traveling at least at a speed of 12 miles an hour. Seated in it were a child and a man, who glanced at us as he passed in such dejection of spirit and hopelessness that my heart seemed to suspend beating momentarily. In the moment that he passed us, our horse's ears sprang forward and bent so that they nearly met. Who was that man?
Nobody knows.
And the child?
Nor her. Though both are familiar to me. I must have passed them more than 100 times on near as many routes.
Without ever exchanging a word?
Not a word. In the beginning, he used to stop and inquire the way to Boston, even when he was traveling directly away from the town. But Since he never seemed to follow my directions, I have ceased communication with him.
So that was the reason for the strange, fixed look he turned on you.
It could be.
And now he's gone. Disappeared as if neither he nor that frail, shivering child had ever been. Does he never stop anywhere?
Never longer than to inquire the way to Boston.
I see no signs of this promised storm.
Look in the direction from which the man came. The storm follows him.
By gad, you're right. There is a little black cloud speck in the east, but not much more than the size of my hat.
That there's the seed store. With luck, we may reach Polly's tavern before it strikes. But to mark my word, the wanderer and his child will go on through rain and thunder and lightning to Providence.
To the town we are coming from, you mean?
Yes, sir. I would guess the real Providence is as far out of his reach as the Boston he never seems able to find either. Wrap that saddle blanket about you, for here it comes. Hey! Giddy up! Mark you in his lightning flash. Do you see?
My eyes are dazzled. What do you mean?
Watch as it comes again. There! In the center of the cloud.
What?
Don't you see? An open carriage drawn by a black horse, and the child clinging in terror to the man. Now look! Do you see?
I see nothing but the lightning and the boiling blackness of the cloud.
No matter, perhaps as well for you. Now hold fast. We go full out. Hurry! Get you up! Move, then! Move!
Within a few minutes, we had broached a rise, and sliding and slithering came down into the hollow to Polly's tavern. In spite of the summer weather, a steam of damp arose from our clothes and those of other travelers. And the whole common room seemed to be awash with discussion of the storm breeder, whom almost all of them seemed to have met on the road.
The name is Derwent, sir, of Boston, in the import-export trade.
Jonathan Dunwell, recently seated as judge in our circuit courts, bound from New York to your fair city.
Well, sir, my pleasure and privilege to meet so distinguished a gentleman. I'm afraid your city is fast surpassing ours in credit and notoriety.
Not entirely, sir. I'm afraid a citizen of your city is the focus of all conversation tonight. The storm breeder. Did you chance on him?
No, as it happens, not today. But too many times.
Too many times?
I could wish to see neither that man nor his horse again. For they seem not to belong to this world.
Well, how's that? I saw them plain, father and daughter, passing us on the road.
Did you speak?
No.
I have seen him wet and weary many times before tonight. And no one who has ever once seen him can ever be deceived again as to his identity.
You know him by name?
Yes, sir. Peter Rugg.
Peter Rugg. But who is this mysterious man?
That is more than anyone can tell exactly, save that he is a famous traveler, though held in low esteem by all innholders, for he never stops to eat, drink, nor sleep.
But why does the man never stop anywhere? Long enough to speak to anyone, at least.
Why, those who know the most about him say the least. It is asserted that sometimes heaven sets a mark on a man for judgment or for trial. I'm thinking of the one time Rugg spoke to me. I was in Connecticut at the time, on a winding road, my horse as weary as myself. It was toward dusk, and all of a sudden, from behind me, traveling at that reckless clip for those roads, a fiery black horse pulling an open chaise caught up to me from behind. Could you tell me how far it is to Boston? 100 miles. 100? How can you say so? I was told last night it was but 50, and I have traveled all night. problem is, sir, you are traveling from Boston. You must turn back.
How can you tell me so? It is all turned back. Boston shifts with the wind. One man tells me it is to the east, the other west. Even the guideposts all point the wrong way.
I think perhaps you're tired, and your little girl, too. Why not stop and rest? You're wet and weary.
Yes, foul weather since I left home.
Stop then up ahead of the inn and refresh.
No, I cannot stop. Do you see what follows me? I must ever stay ahead of it. So I must reach home tonight. I pray you are mistaken in the distance to Boston.
I wish I were. May I make so bold as to inquire if you are Peter Rugg? I think we've met before.
My name is Rugg. I meet so many. I have lost my way. I am wet and weary. I would take it kindly if you would direct me to Boston.
Where do you live in Boston? On what street?
Why, Middle Street. Everyone knows the house with the great shade maple across from the cemetery.
When did you leave Boston?
I cannot tell precisely. It seems a considerable time.
What, sir? How did you and your child become so wet? It has not rained in these parts today.
The shower caught me back on the road a piece. It always catches me, unless I keep moving. Would you advise me to take the old road or the turnpike?
Oh, why? The old road is over 120 miles. The turnpike but 97.
You impose on me. It is wrong to trifle with a traveler. You know it is only some 40 miles from Newburyport to Boston.
But this is not Newburyport. This is Hartford.
Do not deceive me, sir. Is not this river I've been following the Merrimack?
Oh, no, sir. You are just outside Hartford. And this river is the Connecticut.
Have the rivers changed their courses as the cities their places? Am I forever? But again the clouds are gathering and the storm is at my heels. God curses me for that fatal road.
He would talk no longer. His impatient horse leaped off, his flanks rising like wings. That's the last time I saw the ill-fated Mr. Rugg.
Amazing. But you say he gave his address as Middle Street.
That is correct, Mr. I should say Judge Dunwell.
The house with the great maple shade tree across from the cemetery.
So he said.
Do you know Boston well enough to locate it?
Oh, no, sir. And my business seldom carries me that way.
But mine does. I think for curiosity's sake I must go to Peter Rugg's home and try to find out why it is so difficult to return to. 20 years, you said, you've been seeing him on the road.
Oh, all of that. And the last was the only time we spoke.
I should like to meet the man face to face. If for no other reason than to find a better fate for that little girl long since turned woman. When I get to Boston, I shall make it my first order of business. Which is exactly what I did. It was not easy, for the maps were inaccurate, and there was more than one Middle Street. But finally I found it. The great tree smothering the house so that it lay in a shadowy gloom. The paint was peeling, the windows cracked and cobweb-ridden. But the path to the door was cleared, and I was sure that someone or something still lived there. It was with a strange trepidation I walked through the weeds and lifted the heavy knocker. At last, with a deep breath, I let it fall. Then, in utter silence, bathed in the shadowed gloom, I waited to meet waited behind that door.
The house abandoned by its master for countless years. Is it possible that any evidence of him has remained, or his family? Does some heartbroken woman still wait for that lost child, or even for the storm breeder himself? Who and what is Peter Rugg? Phantom, or reality, or legend? We shall have to await those answers with Judge Dunwell until I return shortly with Act 2. Judge Dunwell was never fated to have an answer to his knock on the door. For in the very moment that something old stirs and rustles within the house, outside it, the small noises are smothered by the arrival of the familiar black chaise and the snorting, prancing steed that draws it.
Whoa, Lightfoot! Whoa! Don't you recognize home at last?
At the sound of the arrival, instinctively I had withdrawn deeper in the shadows, finding perfect concealment behind a clump of overgrown rhododendra. Twilight was just upon us, as a confident and somehow younger man than I remembered Peter Rugg to be strode up the path, just in time for the door to open. The little girl sat timid and immobile on the seat of the carriage, as if knowing the hopelessness of it all. Somewhere, low thunder grumbled.
Mistress Rugg, your husband is sorry to have been delayed, but circumstances beyond... I beg your pardon, madam, but I am looking for Mistress Catherine Rugg.
Who? Who did you say?
My wife, madam, the Mistress Rugg.
Oh, Lord bless you, sir. She ain't here. Ain't been here or in this world for 50 years.
What do you mean?
I mean, she's dead and gone like all birds. Dead and gone and buried and lost.
But that can't be. I'm tired and worn, but I know my own house. I live here.
Oh, no, you don't. Not now, you don't. Whoever you are, I can show you deed and title which says that it's mine.
It is true. It seems as though it might be on the wrong side of the street. I don't know. It's hard to... forgive me, madam. I'm confused. Everything seems misplaced. The streets changed. The people changed. The town changed. And what is strangest of all, Catherine Rugg has deserted her husband and child. Oh, pray tell me, has John Foy come home from sea?
Who?
John Foy, my kinsman. He could give me some account of Mrs. Rugg.
I never heard of John Foy. Where does he live?
Just above here on Orange Tree Lane.
Oh, bless you for a stranger. No such place in this neighborhood.
But that can't be possible. The street's gone. Orange Lane is not the head of Hanover Street near Pemberton's Hill.
There is no such lane now.
You cannot be serious. Woman, you mock me. The next thing you will tell me is that there is no King George. However, be that as it may, you must see, madam, that both my daughter and myself are wet and weary. I must find a resting place. Can you direct me to Boston?
But this is Boston. The only city of Boston I know.
But not the one I know. Yes, Lightfoot, coming. I am wrong, of course. I don't know how I could have mistaken it, but this is a much finer city than Boston. Boston must lie at a distance, my good woman, since you are ignorant of it. Yes. It's the same old story. No home tonight. I must away.
No! Mr. Rugg, wait!
Wait!
Who are you, sir?
Oh, 1,000 pardons, Mistress Croft. May I present myself, Judge Jonathan Dunwell of the Circuit Courts, but recently come to Boston.
A judge? Have you some business with that man?
Not legal business, but I had hoped to meet him here and question him. I am obsessed with a desire to know exactly who and what he is.
I'm ashamed for allowing you to stand so long in the rain. Come in and warm yourself by my fire. May I offer you some more sherry, Your Worship?
No. You are more than kind to have given me what I have against the chill. Heaven help that poor man in an open carriage.
And that child beside him.
And the child.
That a man named Rugg once owned this house is all I know. The factor who arranged for my father to take it over is supposed to have made sure all papers are legal.
How I wish I could have stopped him, learned more about him, tried to solve the mystery of him.
The mystery of him? Well, I cannot help there, but I should think the factor who sold us this house should know more of him than anyone, if he is still alive.
Could you give me his name and address? I shall not rest till I have followed this strange affair to its depths and its beginnings.
You understand the hour is late, Judge.
Yes, I do indeed, Mr. Felt. You know the history of Peter Rugg, sometime of Middle Street in this district?
Yeah. I will be brief. He rented a property of mine in his youth. He was married to a fine young woman who bore him a daughter, as I remember.
Jenny.
So I believe was the name. Well, no matter, an offspring. And then without so much as a by your leave, he ran off with the child, leaving the wife to die, as I believe or remember. Yes, she died.
Why?
Well, damn it, she was deserted. Fortunately, Rugg left no creditors. He owned his horse and chaise, and after she died, it was all soon forgotten. Yeah, soon forgotten. I suppose he died.
No. To the best of my belief, he is now alive and living. I have lately seen him and his horse and chaise, and his child.
Oh, is that so? That's so. Well, now, I wouldn't presume to argue with a man of your standing that Peter Rugg could still be alive. I will not deny, but Jenny Rugg, if you saw her, let's see now, the Boston Massacre was 1770. Was it not?
I fortunately avoided it, but history records that date.
So, on that date, Jenny was 10 years of age. And if living, that would make her, let's see, 60 now, give or take a year.
Do you know what you're saying?
If Peter Rugg is still alive, which I take as possible, he could be only 10 years older than myself. And I was only 80 last March.
It was obvious that Mr. Felt was in his dotage. So despairing of gaining any further intelligence from him, I returned to my lodgings at the Marlborough Hotel. If Peter Rugg, I thought to myself, has been traveling since the Boston Massacre, there is no reason I can see now that he shouldn't travel to the end of time. And I might have left it there had I not descended to the tap room for a nightcap, and there encountered Mr. Derwin.
I ran up against a man whose grandfather knew our elusive friend, Mr. Rugg, and can now tell you the whole story, such as it is.
Then by all means begin.
It seems that, if my informant is worthy of credit, Peter Rugg, a man in comfortable circumstances, with one daughter and a wife, lived in Boston on Middle Street. He was a man generally esteemed, save for one thing.
Oh, don't keep me on tenterhooks. What?
An ungovernable temper, so violent that the wig would rise from his head. And while his fits were upon him, he had no respect for heaven or earth.
A sorry spectacle, some of it hard to believe.
Less hard to believe than his punishment for it.
Well, what does that mean, sir?
Well, whilst visiting in Concord one day late in autumn, with his daughter in the chaise, drawn by his favorite horse, a great black beast named Lightfoot, a tremendous storm overtook them, driving them for shelter as dark fell under the roof of a friend of his, Mr. Cutter, who urged him to tarry the night.
Which any man in his right senses under the circumstances would do. And he did not heed his pleas?
Far from it, Judge. Instead, the veins standing out on his neck and at his temples, he screamed to high heaven,
Let the storm increase. Let God and the devil wreak their worst. I will see home tonight, or never see it more.
and with that, he clapped whip to his horse and disappeared into the raging night.
Never to return home?
Never.
Incredible.
Wasn't that supernatural?
Why?
The man is accursed, whether by God or by the devil. I know not which.
Still 50 years of wandering in search of his home. How could it be possible?
Well, now, as to that, there are two theories. One I had from my informant. His grandfather said that on the day after he left Concord 50 years ago, his friends and neighbors started inquiries. But it appeared that Peter Rugg had stayed no place in Boston. And his wife had a strange tale.
What tale is that?
Sitting by the window, waiting on that wild night, there was a sudden sound like an earthquake. And indeed the whole house rumbled underneath her as if about to cave in. Peering out through the storm, she saw a strange sight.
What sight was that?
Coming hell for leather down the street was Peter Rugg in his carriage, straining back on the reins in a vain effort to stop his horse, and crying,
No, Lightfoot, no! May you be damned for the devil you are! Hold up, I say! We are home! Hold up, Lightfoot, in the name of all that's holy! Hold up!
So that fiery horse of his had the bit between his teeth and would not stop?
yes. But there were those who discount the story, saying merely that Peter Rugg wanted to leave his wife and never come home at all. That there was another woman somewhere.
That scarcely fits the facts as we know them.
Well, then, there is the other theory.
Which is?
Perhaps best told by the woman who had the experience. Now, she's the wife of the toll gatherer on the Charlestown Bridge. Would you care to hear her tale for yourself?
Well, sirs, it's many years ago by now. My old man has gone to his rest. Lord save him who could spare me out. In those days, we were both young and spry, and many's the evening I used to keep him company here at the toll gate.
Those days were when?
Oh, nigh on to 50 years ago.
Well, I'm sorry to have interrupted. Go on with your story.
But I remembered how annoyed Ethan was by this big black horse and the chaise and the man and the little girl. Used to tell me how they continually were in contempt of the rates crossing the bridge without stopping or paying.
And were they always followed by bad weather?
Why, bless you, sir, that is the truth. My Ian used to say they brought bad luck.
And you say you saw them?
One evening we heard them sundering up, and I said, this time, they ain't gonna take it out on you, Ethan. You're too easygoing. So when he called them to halt and they kept on, I had grabbed up a three-legged stool. Heavy it was, but I was young and strong, and I hurled it square into the horse's belly.
And tell the judge what happened then.
It passed right through that horse as if it were a shatter. He never even broke stride as the stool went skipping across the bridge. No, sir. That was a haunt. A ghost rider with bad luck right in the dust of his wheels.
So, Judge Dunwell, what is your judgment?
I don't know. Neither explanation fits the pattern of my mind. And I have a feeling that I am not yet done with Peter Rugg, nor will be till his fate is truly revealed to me.
And the judge's instinct was right. Neither he nor we are yet done with the haunting tale of Peter Rugg, the man or ghost who wanders so hopelessly in search of home and rest. I'll return shortly with Act 3. It was to be 5 years before Peter Rugg's and Judge Dunwell's paths crossed again. For some time, the judge had tried to track down the sometimes elusive person or legend, whichever he was. Then, being only human, Peter Rugg had almost passed from his mind until the rest of the judge's story, which you are about to hear now.
In the autumn of 1825, I attended the races at Richmond in Virginia. There was great excitement and the races were well attended, for it was a match race between two recognized champions, a roan called Dart and a light gray mare called Butterfly. At a signal, the gun sounded, and they were off. I was glued to the race. There seemed no way of choosing which horse might win, when suddenly there was an extra wave of excitement from the already madly cheering crowd. To my open-mouthed astonishment, appearing as if from nowhere in the rear, was a majestic black horse of unusual size, drawing an old weather-beaten chair. Effortlessly, as if his heavy non-racing vehicle, encumbered as it was by two occupants, didn't exist, he overtook the racing horses shortly before the winning line. And in concert, both Dart and Butterfly, as the horse passed them, lay back their ears and pulled up short, so that no contest was called. And the winning black horse and his carriage passed the finish line and faded away over the hill. In the clubhouse later, I was fortunate enough to have an introduction to one John Spring, the owner and rider of Butterfly.
Damn it, sir, that was no horse that overtook my mare. No one can outrun Butterfly. No horse, that is. Why, I had bet all I have she would show her heels to Dorf.
No doubt she would if the...
Good horse, make no mistake. Good horses are the great one. But not to outrun my Butterfly. That ox or whatever animal it was that frightened off our horses, why, that makes no contest, sir. No contest.
And yet it looked like a horse.
In no fashion, sir. Nor was it. In no fashion. And that I can prove.
How is that, Mr. Spring?
By my own observation and countless others, sir. Would you like to see?
I would indeed.
Well, then, follow me. You remember, just about here, both of them pulled up and let that interloper go by and disappear.
Yes, the view is unfamiliar from this point, but I do remember it was shortly before the finish line.
Exactly, sir. Both horses have to pull them up, walk deliberately to this spot of soft ground. Butterfly dropped her head, and then lifted it, wickering and frying. And Dot followed by doing the same, and snorting in a sort of anger. So all of us looked to what they had examined. See you then there for yourself, Judge.
I was looking at the hoof marks of the black horse which had carried on to the finish line and beyond. Horse? From the evidence of my eyes from the stands, yes. From the same evidence as I looked at the soft ground, Mr. Spring's strange claim had real validity. These were not the marks of a horse's hooves, but the evidence of another breed of animal or being. The hooves were cloven.
Judge Dunwell.
Mr. Derwent, your business takes you far afield.
In the nature of things. Not like what happened today at the races.
You saw?
Oh, yes.
I was stunned, weren't you? I thought Peter Rugg had vanished.
Oh, no, not either. In the years since we met, I have come across him time and again, and gotten soaked to the skin because of him. In New Hampshire, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and the last time, but shortly, in Delaware.
Have you spoken?
The last time only.
Tell me, if you will, what took place.
Well, sir, on his approach, he checked his horse with some difficulty. A more beautiful horse I'd never seen.
Sir, your face seems familiar. Perhaps I may engage your help. If you are, as maybe, traveling to Boston, I should be glad to accompany you, for I have lost my way. My little girl here is weary, and I must reach home tonight.
That would be impossible, sir. For you are in Concord, in the county of Sussex, which is in the state of Delaware.
But Concord, that is only 20 miles from Boston, and my horse Lightfoot could carry me to the Charlestown ferry in less than 2 hours. You mistake, sir. You are a stranger here. I am well acquainted with Concord, and this town is nothing like it.
Because this is Concord in the state of Delaware.
Huh? What do you mean by state?
Why, one of the United States, man.
States? Do you mock me? Because my heritage is Dutch? I know well I am not in Holland. As a gentleman, I beg you not to mislead me. Tell me, quickly, for pity's sake, before my horse swallows his bit, he is so starved, set me on the right road for Boston.
If I could, and I did, it would be 500 miles from here.
500 miles, you say? Nay, I will listen no more. This beats the Connecticut River. Get up, Lightfoot, get up!
I can explain his last remark. I met him, as you may remember, outside Hartford, when he persisted in mistaking the Connecticut River for the Charles.
So our wandering homeseeker is still abroad. Man or spirit, I shall not rest until he can. But how to help him? The courts were closed until the winter session. It seemed to me that the judgment on Peter Rugg was too great, too inhumane, too unreasonable for the extent of his small crime. I made it my business wholly for once to try to catch him again. But I always seemed fated to be just too late. At the toll gate on the turnpike between Alexandria and Middleburg, he had passed and paid no toll. But the toll gatherer was grateful, for he brought rain behind him to relieve a drought. Back in Virginia at the toll bridge, an irate gatekeeper told me that, annoyed by the number of times Rugg had passed that way refusing to pay, he had stood in the way of the vehicle, and it had passed right through him, or over him without so much as touching him. On the ferry boat across the Hudson, a Mr. Hardy who collected fares showed me a fare that a man had given him insisting it was 30 shillings. It might have been once. It was a half-crown, coined by the British Parliament, dated 1649. Then I knew I had caught up with Peter Rugg again at last. I found him in his rig at the bow of the boat. Greetings, Mr. Rugg.
Huh? Oh, yes. You seem familiar, sir.
Judge Dunwell. We have met on the road before.
That could be possible, sir. May I say that since you are a stranger here, my house is your home. Dame Rugg will be happy to see her husband's friend. Step into my chair, sir, if you will. Move over, Jenny. For the great man. We shall be in Middle Street very shortly.
For many reasons, I will take advantage of your kind invitation. I sneaked a glance at my companions. Both were dressed in incredibly old-fashioned garments of fine cloth, but showing great wear. Rugg himself, at least in the face, was little more than skin drawn over the skull and cheekbones. Jenny was so bundled up she suggested only to my sad and horrified eye what her wizened, dried-out face proclaimed. A small Egyptian mummy. Only Lightfoot looked bigger, sleeker, and more magnificent than ever.
This is not Boston, sir.
Then mayhap it is New York.
How can it be New York, sir, when that place is 200 and more miles from Boston? But I thought I was home.
Mr. Rudd, look to the west. Only the size of a blackberry now, but that looks like an angry storm on our trail.
Ah, it is in vain to escape. I know that cloud. It brings new wrath to spend on my head. Go now, kind stranger, whoever you are. Leave me to my fate.
No, not this time, Peter Rugg. Give me the reins. This time perhaps we can outrun the storm. I took them from his slack hand, sliding over him and pushing him back to huddle with his daughter. And it needed only one flick to send that strange horse on his way like the wind. As we careened around the first corner, I noticed that his front hooves had been split on some hard road somewhere, but were healing. So Mr. Spring had been at least half right about the cloven hooves. I remembered little of that nightmare ride for Boston, how many days passed, where we stayed or ate or slept. I only know that no matter how fast we traveled, that mushrooming black cloud stayed on our heels every step of the way. And then at last, we were in Boston, on Middle Street. A crowd was gathered. The great elm still stood, although barren now of leaves, fire-blackened. And all that remained of the house was a heap of rubble. All else burnt to the ground, as I knew it to be, for the fire had taken place 2 years before.
You men of the North End, this is holy ground. The city needs this land, and let not the name of Peter Rugg dampen your ardor.
No! I hold renting title to this place.
No, hush, Mr. Rugg. Listen for a moment longer.
Let no man try to tell you that Peter Rugg is long since dead and gone to his reward. Let not legislatures seek the right and title to this land which is free and clear.
But how can this be? Who has burned my house to the ground? And who are all these strange people? I thought I knew every man in Boston, but I do not recollect at this moment that I ever saw one of these. Who are these strangers?
Listen to me, Peter Rugg. The only stranger here is you. You have suffered many years under an illusion. Look behind. The cloud, the storm. Your nemesis is gathering.
Then I must flee, away from home again.
No, if you do, you have no home.
If I stay, there is none left.
Don't you see that for over 50 years, the tempest which you so profanely defied at Monotony has driven you before it like a straw in the wind? And now it is too late. Your wife, your house, and all your neighbors have disappeared. You have no home left here. You've been cut off from one age, and you can never be fitted to the present. You can never have another home again in this world, you or your daughter, unless...
Yes, Quickly, for the storm is almost upon us. Unless what?
Unless you stop fleeing it, let it catch up with you and perhaps pass you by. Then mayhap at long last you can find rest.
Oh, rest. Sweet, blessed rest. Oh, my Father, forgive me. And take me and Jenny home.
The great black clouds and teeming rain engulfed us all. My last view of Peter Rugg was standing with his arm about his daughter, his face lifted to the rain. And wonder of wonders, at last the child's head, too, was lifted. In the intensity of it, they were lost. And suddenly the storm passed. For a moment, in its last fringe, I saw the two of them, eyes on heaven. And then, as if they had never been, chaise, horse, harness, father and daughter were gone. Where? I do not know. I can only hope home at last.
Judge Dunwell lived out a long and fruitful life, dying quietly in his bed one night. We do not know what his last thoughts were, but certainly one of them must have been that in all the last 40 years of his life, he never again met or heard of Peter Rugg. There is no one more tragic in all history or literature than the soul condemned to wander, lost, alone, cut off. And I do have to wonder a little if Peter Rugg didn't make his own penance. What we fear in life, we should not run from, especially if we can't outdistance it. Turn and meet it face to face. It's surprising that the reality is never as bad as the imagined. Our cast included Michael Tolan, Fred Gwynn, Ann Petoniak, Arnold Moss, and Ian Martin. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall, and perhaps you've come to look upon me as the master of the macabre, your escort into the eerie. And in all honesty, I can say that I am happy you have this opinion of me. I'll admit to an affinity for tales of the supernatural, and even a sneaking fondness for ghosts. Some ghosts, that is. I cannot say that I have liked every ghost I have met, because in my experience, there can be some very unpleasant ghosts. Our mystery drama, Voices of Death, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Murray Burnett and stars Mandel Kramer and Ralph Bell. It is sponsored in part by Sign-Off, the Sinus Medicines, and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
Hello, Ms. Goldilocks here, and welcome to my professional taste testing laboratory. Oh, Papa Bear, could you bring that case of sugar-free Diet 7-Up over here?
Another case? Miss Goldilocks, you're drinking the sugar-free Diet 7-Up like there's no tomorrow. You can't still be taste testing it.
Oh, no, Papa Bear. Sugar-free Diet 7-Up has already earned my seal of approval. It's fresh, light, natural, delicious. I drink it because I love its taste. Now hurry up.
Okay, here.
This sugar-free Diet 7-Up really tastes delicious. Ladies, if you're tired of switching from one diet drink to another, take some advice from Ms. Goldilocks. Try sugar-free Diet 7-Up and you'll say, yes, this one's just right.
I'll bear witness to that, Goldie.
Instead of working your money up the savings ladder, why not start your savings right at the top with Suburban Savings 7.50% savings certificates? Suburban Savings in North Jersey is paying a top 7.90% effective yield on all new 7.50 savings certificates, and Suburban guarantees it for 4 to 10 years. A $2,500 minimum is all you need to get started at the top. Suburban Savings compounds interest from day of deposit paid quarterly, so you get not only interest on your savings, you get interest on interest. Early withdrawal prior to maturity is subject to a substantial penalty. Start your savings at the top, earning a top 7.90% effective annual yield at any of Suburban's offices in Bayonne, Edgewater, Elmwood Park, Emerson, Hackettstown, Morris Plains, Nutley, Paramus, and Sparta.
There are many stories about faceless voices that speak to lonely people. Voices that come from nowhere, that threaten, cajole, terrify, or madden the mortals who hear them. Our story is about such a voice, but it is a voice that has a face, the face of a dead man. Most of us know what to expect when we turn on a television set. But the last thing Jason Phillips expected was to have the face of a dead man appear on his television tube.
How did the face of Peter Truro get on my TV screen? Peter, I'm sure if you were alive, you'd understand why yours is the last face I'd want to look at. So forgive me for switching stations. What is this, Peter again? I'll try another channel. On every channel? Peter Truro? That's ridiculous. And no sound. What's wrong with the sound?
Nothing, Jason. What? This isn't the normal way to return.
Well, I'm seeing things. And hearing them. Peter Truro is dead and buried. He couldn't be talking to me from my TV screen. Everything happened so suddenly with Peter and Claire and that lousy Linville. Put the TV back on.
Relax, Jason. I'm not a delusion. I realize that my talking to you this way must be quite a shock, but you're really seeing and talking with Peter Truro.
Oh, sure. Peter Truro, who's been dead and cremated for 10 days.
The body, yes, Jason, but nothing else. Now, just as soon as we complete our business, you'll be rid of me, and you'll be happy.
You keep talking about business. What kind of business can we have?
You're going to do a little job for me, Jason. You're going to kill my wife. There's absolutely no point in your turning off the television, Jason.
You're a fraud, Peter. I don't know how you got into my set, but you're a fraud.
Come on now. You're not going to claim that you're still upset because, after all, I am a ghost?
Well, of course. It's a perfectly natural occurrence, isn't it? Everyone who watches television sooner or later finds himself face to face and talking with a ghost every time he turns on his set.
What you're really telling me is that you're afraid I'm not a ghost at all, but a figment of your imagination.
And you find that strange. You don't think that that's enough to upset me?
Of course it is, Jason. Like Hamlet, you're wondering about your brain.
Yes, I am.
Well, I can take that worry off your shoulders.
How?
Suppose Claire comes to see you.
Claire? What would she want?
An attack of conscience. Guilt. Whatever you may want to call it. But, Jason, I will make Claire visit you. And then we will talk again.
What in the world am I doing here anyway? Can you tell me, Jason?
Putting on a marvelous act as usual, Claire.
Why do I feel cold? Why do I have this feeling that Peter's watching?
Which question would you like me to answer?
Do you believe in ghosts?
Of course not.
Well, you sound so sure. So very.
And you're not. I remember how you used to make fun of the whole spiritual scene.
I said it was impossible.
Claire, why this discussion? What made you phone me and come here to talk about...
I've been having dreams.
Dreams? Well, I'm no psychiatrist.
Yes, dreams about Peter. He keeps telling me to come to you and explain about... Well, you know, how you lost the part in the play, and I'm not making very much sense, am I?
No, you're not. I don't know why you came here, but I know damn well you'd better leave.
Are you convinced, Jason? Do you believe now that I'm a ghost? Well, you heard Claire. You know I sent her to you.
So she says.
I don't know whether it was smart to throw her out so abruptly. She may become suspicious.
About what?
About your wanting to kill her.
You're out of your mind. You're crazy.
Remember how you felt when Claire told you that she was replacing you in the part that I had picked for you in Cries of Dissent? Remember how you raged because you knew that Claire was throwing you out, not because of your lack of ability, but because she wanted the part for her lover, Edward Linville. You even threatened to kill her.
I don't have to listen to any more of this. Right now, I could cheerfully have murdered you if you'd been alive. Hello.
Jason, this is Claire. Darling, I do think you owe me some sort of explanation for almost throwing me out of your place a while ago.
Claire, my love, the only thing I owe you is a punch in the mouth, and if you were a man, I'd be happy to give it to you.
Are you going to be with us long, Mr. Phillips?
Well, that depends.
You'll find all sports and great weather at the Clarkstown Inn. You will be in 4:45. If there's anything you want, don't hesitate to ask.
Now, before I call Alida, I think I'd better see if Peter is still with me.
Here I am, Jason. You didn't think you could run away from me, did you?
I wasn't sure, but I was hoping.
I'm curious about one thing. Why did you pick this God-forsaken little town as a place of refuge?
Because I happen to have been born right here in Clarkstown.
Ah. Then this is an attempt to recapture the safety of your childhood. That's very touching, Jason.
I've had enough of you tonight, Peter. Time for me to do what I came here for in the first place. Talk to an old friend.
Hello?
Alida, what a delight to hear your voice after all these years.
And it is a pleasure to hear yours, Jason.
Oh, Alida, you're too much. After all these years, you hear me say your name and immediately you know my voice.
It is a distinctive voice, Jason. Are you calling from New York?
No, I'm at the inn right here in Clarkstown. Matter of fact, I came here just to see you.
How nice. But, Jason, there's been a lot of years since we last spoke. And right now it's almost past my bedtime. How about breakfast with me tomorrow? More coffee, Jason.
No, thanks, Alida. Alida, I'm being haunted. I think I'm going crazy. I don't know where to turn or what to do. That's why I came to see you. Do you think you can help me?
If you'll calm down, maybe.
Well, you just don't know what it's like.
And I can't find out unless you tell me. Do you know this ghost?
Of course. It's the famous Broadway producer, Peter Truro.
I read about his death. It was only a short time ago.
That's right. And he's been after me for the past 2 weeks.
How does this haunting manifest itself?
Through television. Every time I turn on a TV set, it's Peter's face that appears. I can't get any other programs, just Peter Truro.
What does he say to you?
Well, that's what's got me scared. He's asking me to kill his wife. What frightened you, Alida? Why?
Well, Jason, as I remember you, when you were a boy, you were not particularly psychic or even sympathetic to psychic phenomena.
That's right.
In order to help you, I must find out why the ghost of Peter Truro chose you as his instrument in the first place.
Can you?
I can try. But not this morning. Can you come back tonight for another seance? Like the one you remembered as a boy?
That's why I came. I'll be here, Alita.
I can't promise anything will come out of this. I can't even promise to make contact. But if I do, you will have to keep absolutely quiet. Understand?
Yes, I do.
All right. Now, hold my hands. Tighter. Yes, that's it. The light is too bright. It hurts my eyes. I can't see. Better, yes. That's better. Now, I see. I see you quite clearly.
Jason, why did you do this? Just when we two were getting along so well, you went and brought this stranger in.
Well, Peter,
Jason, you must keep quiet. You promised.
Let him talk for himself. We have some wonderful chats when we're alone.
Jason is a friend of mine. He has asked my help. Why did you choose him to torment?
It is I who am in torment. You must know that. It is I who cannot rest until a vow has been kept.
What vow?
The marriage vow.
Has it not been kept? Did you not plight love till death do us part?
No. Our vow was to remain faithful and loving forever. We changed the marriage ceremony, and the vow has not been kept. And I seek revenge. I will have revenge. I will.
Alita, are you all right?
Yes. Yes. I will be fine. Just give me a moment.
You sure you're going to be all right?
Yes, I am sure about me. But I am worried about you, Jason. I am not sure about you.
Ghosts are very much like UFOs. People say they don't exist. But somehow the idea of ghosts and UFOs just won't go away.
It took me 20 years to get what I've got today. A nice house, a couple of comfortable, good-looking cars. Then along came all the concern about miles per gallon. They say one of my cars ought to be a small car. I say, okay, show me a small car that's good enough to make a big car guy like me happy. They say, look at a Buick. I say, go on, Buick doesn't even make small cars. Look at the Apollo, they say. So I looked. Buick does make a small car. But this one's got some room and comfort. And something else. A 6-cylinder engine and a standard 21-gallon gas tank. Put those together and you've got range. Well, that's just important to me as miles per gallon. So I consider everything about the car, the economy naturally, but also how nice it was inside and how smooth it was. And I bought the Apollo. There's nothing wrong with a small car, as long as it's a Buick. Apollo, the Buick of small cars.
Hey, Mom, what's for dinner? Hey, Mom, what you got?
Here's ShopRite's suggestion for a delightful cookout dish. Boneless top round to sirloin tip steaks, just $1.69 a pound. Delicious cooked over the coals, just as delicious pan-broiled indoors. For a busy night, here's a quick dinner idea. Freezer Queen family-size frozen casseroles, all varieties except beef, just 99 cents for the 2-pound size at ShopRite. For dessert, Pepperidge Farm layer cake, 17-ounce box, 69 cents in ShopRite's frozen food case. Cooking out or cooking in, ShopRite has the answer.
She loves the family. She wants the best. She does all that she can do. She lets ShopRite do the rest. Hey, Ma, what's for dinner? ShopRite has the answer.
This is WOR New York, an RKO General Station.
The question of whether ghosts can have anything to do with dreams is one that has occupied the thoughts of psychics since people first began to talk about ghosts. Jason Phillips was haunted by a ghost. Not in his dreams, but one who took over his TV set. Jason is seeking help, not from an analyst, but from an old and respected medium whom he had known since childhood.
All right, Alita. I don't mean to start a discussion. All I want to know is, how do I get rid of the ghost of Peter Truro?
I wish I could tell you.
You mean I can't get any help? I'll have to spend the rest of my life listening to Peter insisting that I kill Claire for him?
You can turn off your television, can't you?
Oh, great. I'll never look at a TV set again. Is that your solution?
How deeply was Peter devoted to his wife?
What kind of question is that?
A very important question.
Well, there was a jealousy act that Peter was putting on.
What made you think it was, as you put it, an act?
Because nobody could have been that jealous.
What about the relationship? Was it a good one?
I don't know. I never stopped to think about it. There was the difference in age. I mean, Peter was some 18 years older than Claire, and he was Broadway's outstanding producer, and she was an actress.
Are you trying to say that Claire married Truro to advance her career? That she didn't love him?
Well, there was no question that Truro worshipped Claire, that he'd do anything for her. She liked Peter, but, well, I think the feeling was deeper on his side than hers.
And how did you feel about Claire?
Alita, I don't see the point of all this.
Ghosts do not choose people to haunt unless by design. In order even to begin to help you, we must try to find out why Peter Truro chose you as an instrument for his vengeance. How do you feel about Claire?
Well, I'm certainly not fond of her. After all, she was responsible for my losing the part in Cries of Dissent.
You wanted to kill her.
Don't be ridiculous. You sound just like Peter.
You won't admit it to yourself. But you're secretly delighted with the idea of punishing Claire Truro. And there is no way you can get rid of Peter Truro until you do.
Welcome home, Jason. So nice to be back with you.
Cut it, Peter.
I liked your friend Alita.
Oh, I'm glad.
Well, now that your investigation has proved that I'm really a ghost and not something your imagination cooked up, we can get down to specifics about killing Claire.
Now, let's get this straight. I evidently can't stop you from appearing on my TV screen. But I am not going to kill anyone. Not even Claire.
I'll show you how you can get away with it.
I'm not interested.
What can you lose by sitting down and picking up a piece of paper and a pen?
I don't know.
Admit you're curious.
All right, I'm curious.
Oh, come on. Jason, you know we both burn for revenge. You because Claire fired you from Cries of Dissent to replace you with her lover, Edward Linville.
Who is awful. Have you seen him?
Oh, I don't have to. I know he's terrible. But he's playing the part. And he's sleeping with my wife, so, get the paper and pen, eh?
All right.
Now write the following. My darling, this should not come as a surprise, since we talked about your unfaithfulness.
Now, wait a minute, Peter.
There's not much more. Unfaithfulness many times. And you know that I said I would kill you. My dearest, prepare to die. And sign it, Peter. What do you think she'll say when she finds that in her desk drawer?
Well, I think she'll laugh because she'll know it's an obvious forgery.
Well, take another look, Jason. And then tell me if you recognize the writing.
What? How did you do it? This is your handwriting.
Please, Edward, don't make me look again.
Darling, you must. This thing has gone too far for you to give in to it now. Now, please open the drawer.
What if I find another of those horrible notes?
You won't find any more. I've had the only key to the drawer in my pocket for the past 2 days.
Oh, can't we just let it go for now?
Open the drawer. Now, here's the key, darling. What was it?
Another note. Another one.
Well, that's impossible. Let me see.
No, don't. It's impossible, you said. Impossible. All right, Edward, read what it says. It's impossible. I think we should go to the police.
And tell them what? That you're getting notes from a dead man?
Well, haven't you been telling me all along that was impossible?
Of course I have.
Then we can go to the police and tell him that some vicious practical joker is blackmailing me.
He hasn't asked for anything.
Oh, he's building up to it. I know he's building up to it.
Who is he? That's the big question. Who is doing this and how?
I'll swear that the notes are in Peter's handwriting, and any handwriting expert will swear to the same thing.
Then maybe we should ask the police to begin looking for a master forger?
I thought you said we shouldn't go to the police.
Well, I have an idea. Now, it may be crazy, and I don't know whether or not it'll help, but it's an idea.
I'll do anything to stop this nonsense.
Well, maybe we should find a spiritualist and have a consultation.
Who is it?
Ed Linville.
Well, if I say I'm surprised, I'm sure you'll understand.
Completely. And I'm sure that you'll understand that I wouldn't be here in your apartment unless I thought it was very important.
Granted.
I'm here because I can't help feeling there's some connection between you and some crazy notes Claire's been getting.
Notes? Don't think I understand.
Somebody has started a systematic campaign of persecution against Claire.
Well, why don't you go to the police?
Because I'm afraid of the publicity. Claire will look silly because the persecution is seemingly directed by Peter Truro.
Well, she can't be serious. How could Peter
That's what everyone's reaction is, because I can't explain the notes.
That's the second time you've mentioned notes.
They're vicious, handwritten little jottings, all reminding her of some silly vows that she had made with Truro before they were married. And they threaten her life. They're all signed by Peter Truro.
Well, it's impossible.
That's what I said. Claire insists that the handwriting is Peter's. It's been checked by 3 handwriting experts. All 3 say Claire's right. The handwriting is Peter's.
Well, that still doesn't explain what brings you here to see me.
I told you, Claire's sensed there's a connection. She told me she came to see you.
Yes, she did.
And she told me you behaved rather strangely.
Look, I know you're worried about Claire, so I'm giving you a lot of latitude, but you're really beginning to annoy me, Linville.
I'm just trying to find out why you got so angry with her when she was only talking about her dreams.
She came here, I thought, to ask my forgiveness for the raw deal she gave me in Cries of Dissent. A deal which you were part of. Now, why should I sympathize with Claire and her problems? We were never that close before Peter died, and as far as you're concerned...
Can you forget that I replaced you?
You don't have a right to ask me to forget.
Oh, yes, I have. And I'm going to get some answers, or the cops are going to get some information, even if it means bad publicity.
The cops?
Claire and I went to a medium. We showed her the notes. We told her all we knew. She held a seance, and she came up with your name.
And that's what you're going to tell the cops?
That and the fact that you're mad because I replaced you in Cries of Dissent.
You've had this coming, and now you're going to get... I'll kill you, so help me, I'll kill you.
So, Jason, we made quite a spectacle of ourselves with Edward Linville, didn't we?
How did that medium get my name?
She must have been extraordinarily perceptive.
You know that it was a she. You're in on this.
Oh, really, Jason? You're becoming paranoid. Since I'm obviously depending on you to kill Claire for me, it would be extraordinarily stupid for me to have you suspected even before the crime.
Nobody is going to be suspected because there isn't going to be any crime.
Oh, your adrenaline's still working overtime because of that scrap with Linville. When you calm down, you'll realize what a fool you're making of yourself.
No need to remind me. I realized that the minute Linville said he'd been given my name.
What story can Linville take to the police?
He can accuse me of writing poison pen letters to Claire.
He can? On what evidence? The word of a medium? According to Linville himself, Claire had the notes checked with a handwriting expert who swore that the handwriting was mine. Now, how does that point to you?
Why can't you leave me alone?
Oh, come, Jason. You were having a ball with the notes and watching the effect they had on Claire?
All right, I'll admit that, but writing nasty little notes is a lot different than killing.
Well, of course it is. And you want me to guarantee that no one will ever connect you with the killing. That's what you really want, isn't it, Jason?
Look, you're too smug for me to argue with. There's no point in any further discussion, so...
Now, hold on a minute, Jason, hold on. I want to tell you how I can guarantee your being in the clear.
Like promising me you won't give the police my name.
I offer you complete safety.
How?
A suicide note.
Suicide?
Exactly. Claire will commit suicide. Take an overdose of sleeping pills and leave a completely authentic suicide note to prove it.
You mean you're really going to drive Claire to suicide?
Don't you think Claire is the suicidal type?
No.
I agree. That's why we must have the note. Do you want to write it now?
Are you out of your mind?
Just write what I dictate.
No way.
We are going to say that she just couldn't stand the idea of betraying me and breaking her solemn marriage vow.
Now, you're not going to mention me, are you?
Well, of course not.
Somebody will remember that the earlier notes dealt with me in Linville.
That's why we'll just stick with her guilt about betraying me. You see how careful I'm being about involving you?
Yes, but you want me to write the note.
You must. I guarantee the handwriting experts will all swear the handwriting is genuine. In addition, it will be on her special stationery, of course.
Mm-hmm. And how are you going to arrange that?
You are. You are going to be invited to a party. A bash that Claire will be giving next week. And while you're there, I'll arrange to show you the room where Claire keeps her stationery and the desk.
Oh, forget it. Haven't you ever heard of fingerprints? Mine will be all over the place.
Pick it up, Jason. That's Claire calling with your invitation. Congratulations, Jason. You accepted Claire's invitation with just the right amount of reluctance.
How did you know that Claire would call?
Oh, you must grant me certain ghostly secrets of the trade. It should reassure you about our chances of pulling off a successful murder.
I thought you said suicide.
Yes, I did, but to be quite accurate, I should have said apparent suicide. We both agreed that Claire wasn't the suicidal type.
Then what was all that talk about sleeping pills and a suicide note? Just talk?
By no means.
Well, she's not going to take an overdose of her own free will.
That is where you come in, Jason. You'll have to see to it that she takes them. We'll work that out somehow.
The devil we will. This is where I get off, Peter. I'm finishing with you once and for all, even if I have to smash the set.
We're past that, Jason, old boy.
What? Wait a minute, the set's off. I hear you. Why can't I see you?
Of course the set is off, Jason. But now we have such a close relationship that I don't have to depend on a mechanical device to communicate with you. From now on, Jason, I'm your friend and faithful companion.
Who was it who first said, with a friend like that, who needs enemies? Oh, well. It really doesn't matter. What matters is that a ghostly voice has taken control of Jason Phillips. All of us are driven sometimes by forces we don't clearly see or understand. But how many of you have ever obeyed the commands of a ghost? And what happened when you did? Don't answer that.
Some beer drinkers have funny ideas about beer. They think beer improves with age, like wine. Well, find a brewmaster, though. You'll find a beer drinker who knows better. The Budweiser brewmaster says it all depends on how beer is aged. Just letting beer sit in lagering tanks makes it older, not necessarily better. That even goes for keeping a case around the house for a couple of months. But there is one kind of aging that's good for beer. The Budweiser kind. Beechwood aging. In this kind of aging, something happens. It lets all the flavor of the choicest hops and best barley malt that go into Budweiser get through to you. Sure, it takes more time and trouble to brew Budweiser that way, but brewing beer right does make a difference. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Eyeglass wearers, why buy glasses without a guarantee? Especially the kind of guarantee you get at the 15 Hillman Cohan Vision Centers in New Jersey. It's a unique you bust 'em, we fix 'em guarantee, and it comes with every pair of glasses they dispense. If they break, take back the pieces and they'll fix or replace them unconditionally for 1 whole year. Who else gives you such a guarantee? And such an unbelievable selection. Hillman Cohan Vision Center. Everything for everybody who wears or buys eyeglasses, including complete 1-hour service for most glasses, satisfaction assured. No wonder Vision Center is growing so fast. Check out the one nearest you. They're all open daily, 10 to 9, Saturdays till 5.
Put on a happy face at your Vision Center.
Get 1-hour service in the Great Eyeglass Guarantee at 2 Hillman Cohan Vision Centers in Wayne, Route 46 opposite Willowbrook, and in Wayne Hills Mall, Hamburg Turnpike. Bank AmeriCard and MasterCharge accepted.
When you have to make a lot of short business flights, there's not much glamour left to it. All you want is to get there on time as conveniently and comfortably as possible. That's why TWA developed Ambassador Express. If you're a little late getting to the airport, you can get your ticket right in the gate area. Then you can carry your suitcase on board with you, because TWA has big carry-on luggage compartments on more planes than any other airline. In coach, the TWA twin seat lets you fold down the middle seat if nobody's there and sit a comfortable 2 across instead of 3. And we've set up our schedules with convenient return flights, so you can usually fly out in the morning and back home again that same evening. TWA's Ambassador Express. It's a business-like approach to flying on business.
TWA has 44 Ambassador Express non-city, Pittsburgh, and Indianapolis every business day. Call your travel agent or TWA.
People who hear voices either tell no one or lay themselves open to all sorts of risks, not the least of which is ending up on a couch. Actor Jason Phillips has been hearing the same voice for weeks. The voice of a Broadway producer who keeps urging Jason to kill the producer's actress wife. Jason is now disturbed enough to seek help from a distinguished and brilliant psychiatrist.
The whole purpose of our talks, Jason, depends on your deciding what is important. Now, obviously, your losing the part in Cries of Dissent was a real shock to you.
Well, it would be to anybody.
Of course, but what about Claire Truro? What was your relationship with her before that?
It was friendly, casual. I mean, after all, she was Peter's wife, and he made no bones about how he felt about her.
Were you attracted to her?
She's a very good-looking woman.
That's not what I asked.
Oh, I guess maybe, but nothing earth-shaking.
And how did she feel about you?
I don't know. I
think it might be wise if you could recreate the day she told you she was replacing you in Cries of Dissent.
Well, I don't know if I can remember all of it. I came to the theater that day about the same time as usual. Rehearsal was scheduled for 11. I got there about 10:50. I was sitting in my dressing room when I heard a knock on the door. Come in.
I'm glad you're early, Jason. There's something I want to talk to you about.
Fine. Well, I need the script.
No. Jason, darling, this isn't going to be very pleasant.
Well, the last few weeks haven't been very pleasant.
This is something I know is going to hurt you, and I wish... How I wish...
You're not making sense.
I've never done this before. I've never fired an actor before.
Fired an act? You mean I'm out of the play?
I'm afraid so.
But why? Why? You know I'm good in the part. You know what the part means to me. Why would...
I think you're beginning to understand. Believe me, Jason,
Does Linville mean that much to you?
Well, you knew
I knew you were seeing a lot of him, but I didn't think that... Well, isn't this very sudden? Peter's only been dead a few days.
Edward Linville and I... Well, we go back a long way.
Claire, I don't want to hear any stories of old love affairs. It's not going to make me feel any differently about the kind of deal you're giving me.
I don't suppose I could expect you to feel any other way.
Come off it, Claire. You cut my heart out and you want to be forgiven?
You'll get your full salary for the run of the
I don't need it. I'll take my 2 weeks' notice.
I'll be in touch with your agent. Goodbye, Jason.
And that's about the way it was, Doctor.
Oh, a traumatic experience. It has left a deep scar.
Well, I knew that before I came to you. Now, help me.
Well, the help must come from within you.
You don't believe in this ghost of mine.
Do you?
We keep going around in circles, Doctor.
Not quite. The first day you came to me, you wanted to know whether or not you could actually hear a voice and be perfectly sane. You remember I gave you an answer.
Yes, you said it was possible.
And then?
Then I told you the voice I heard belonged to a dead man and asked if you believed in ghosts.
And do you remember my answer?
Yes, you said, for some people, ghosts are a way of life.
That's right. Doesn't that apply to you?
No, and I don't know anyone it does apply to. Doctor, if you're trying to confuse me, you're doing a great job.
I'm trying to lead you to a conclusion. You'd only kill someone who did you harm?
Does that seem so strange?
Someone like Claire Truro?
Well, there you go again, Doctor, trying to prove something.
Prove what?
That I'd really like to kill Claire.
Wouldn't you?
Yes. Yes, I would. I'd like to get my hands around her throat. Yes, I want to kill her.
What in the world have you done, Jason?
Made a purchase, Peter. A mannequin. Don't you recognize her?
Should I?
Well, she's a lady very close to your heart.
To me, she just looks like any other window dummy they use in dress shops.
Ah, but this one is different, Peter. Don't you recognize your beloved wife, Claire?
What kind of foolishness is this?
Expensive, made-to-order therapy for a man who talks to ghosts. A ghost who wants him to kill his wife. Now, I prop Claire up here in the corner of this couch, and I hit her. And I hit her again, and again, and again.
You feel better?
Much better, Peter. You see, I'm willing to admit to you now that I am aggressive towards Claire, and I would like to see her dead.
That is progress.
That's what my doctor says. Now that I've admitted the terrible thought and acknowledged it, I can get rid of my aggression.
By hitting that department store dummy on the head?
You go ahead and laugh. But it's going to work.
Jason, over here.
Oh, great party, Claire.
Thank you, Jason. I want you and Edward to shake hands right here now.
Of course.
Go on, Edward. Go on, shake hands.
Well, I think I made a fool of myself, Jason.
Well, you don't have a monopoly on foolishness. I kind of lost my head, too.
Well, it's all over now. And even though Edward said I shouldn't, I have to ask a favor, Jason.
Go right ahead.
Well, you know that little church around the corner from your apartment?
You mean St. Anthony's?
That's it. They have a theatrical about this time every year, and I've known Father Kinsolving for years and years, and... Well, I always donate some costumes, and I was wondering if you'd be kind enough to drop them off for me.
No trouble at all. I'd be happy to.
You see, Edward, what you called my silly brainstorm turned out to be not such a bad idea at all.
Welcome home, Jason. Did you enjoy the party?
Matter of fact, I had a ball.
I see you have the clothes with which you can dress that ridiculous dummy, so it looks even more like Claire.
These are costumes that I have to give to St. Anthony's.
Well, try one of them on the dummy. You'll find it will make your therapy more effective. Go on. I like that blue dress.
Wait a minute. Did you have anything to do with this?
Of course, I put the idea into Claire's head of asking you to deliver the costumes. I think it's going to please me to see a more lifelike Claire in your living room and give you a good deal more of satisfaction.
All right, Doctor, I'll admit I do feel better. But all that pummeling and smashing at the model of Claire hasn't stopped me from hearing Peter's voice.
Do you also see him?
Only when I turn on the TV. I don't bother with that anymore. But I am still confused. You and I have these long conversations and...
You were about to say?
Well, I don't know. There are too many things that can't be explained away because of my aggressiveness. Those notes and the fact that they were judged to be in Peter's handwriting.
Which you've often seen enough on checks and letters.
I'm not that good a forger.
All right, Jason. What is the alternative?
I don't understand.
We've come a long way since you first came here. Let's assume that you didn't forge the notes. You know who wrote them, but someone else dictated them. And the same person guided your hand. Now, who could that person possibly be?
I've been telling you, the ghost of Peter Truro.
And this same ghost influenced his wife to give you costumes to deliver to a church for a theatrical.
He says he did.
This, then, is the alternative you must face. that there is a ghost, that he is the ghost of Peter Truro, and that he is haunting you.
And that I believe in that ghost?
Don't you?
I'm afraid I don't have any choice. Who is it?
Alida.
Oh, come in. Thank you for coming so soon after I called.
I'd never forgive myself if I hadn't. Who's that?
It's just a dummy dressed in Claire's clothes.
You must get rid of it.
Well, I will, but I asked you to visit with me.
Get rid of it now.
What do you want me to do, throw it out the window?
It doesn't matter. Don't you realize how dangerous it is for you to have her here?
Oh, come on, Alida. It was my doctor's idea. He said I could use the dummy to take out my aggression.
Indeed. And where did you get the clothes?
Claire gave them to me.
Does she know how you're using them?
She gave me a lot of stuff to give to a church theatrical. I kept this one dress out.
Are you so friendly that she would ask you to do her a favor like that?
Look, I'm afraid I've gone as far as I can with the doctor. He feels that it's all my subconscious. My urge to kill Claire that accounts for everything.
Your wish to kill Claire does not mean there are no ghosts. There is evil all around you. Either you or Claire must leave New York.
I don't see how running away will get rid of Peter.
I'm not so much concerned now with your getting rid of Peter as I am with saving your life.
You really mean that, don't you? You're really frightened.
There was only one other time in my life when I've been this frightened.
When was that?
No. Now, Jason, please come away with me. Come back with me to Clarkstown until... Until the restless thirst for revenge has left the ghost of Peter Truro.
You were sensational tonight, Claire, my love.
Thank you, Edward.
Shall we eat something before we go home?
No, I'll meet you at the house. I have to go someplace first.
Oh, very mysterious.
Well, it's important.
You care to tell me?
I'm afraid you disapprove.
Well, if it's what I think it is, I certainly will do more than disapprove.
Oh, be a darling and don't ask any questions. I'll tell you all about it when I get home.
Now, Claire,
I have to get this makeup off and
You're not going.
Now, don't be silly, Edward. You don't even know where I'm going.
Stop treating me like a child, Claire. It's obvious that you're taking that last note seriously.
I want these notes to end. I want this whole situation to end. Can you promise me that you can stop it, Edward?
No, but...
This last note says I'll have all the answers if I go alone to Jason's apartment.
And you believe that?
It also says I'll find the door open. I'm going there. And if the door's open, I'll go in.
But, Claire...
You know where I'll be. And if I'm not home in an hour, you can come after me. Call the police or do anything you want.
Oh, darn, I just remembered something, Alida.
What?
I left something important in the apartment.
Oh, but Jason, our bus leaves in half an hour. You promised to go home with me.
There's plenty of time. My apartment's only a short distance. I'll grab a cab, be back in plenty of time. Meet you at gate number 5.
You're doing the right thing, Jason. I promise a stunning surprise awaits you in your apartment. And after tonight, it will be all over.
Cab!
You'll like what I've done with the mannequin, Jason. That's a promise.
The door is open. That part of the note is right. Jason? Jason, are you home? Oh, darn. Oh, where are the lights? Oh, what's this? Jason, you're not playing some silly game, are you? Oh, a dummy. Some kind of store figure. Jason, whatever you're up to, get this thing away from me. It's just where a dummy belongs, on the floor. Jason, I'm too old to be afraid of the dark. I'll just sit and wait for you. And if you don't come soon, Edward will be here. I'm warning you. I thought mentioning Edward would do it. Switch on the light, Jason.
Oh, Peter, this is what your surprise is. You've made the mannequin talk. Marvelous, Peter.
Who are you talking to, Jason? Please turn on the light.
Thank you, Peter. This is really wonderful. Perfect.
Jason! Are you mad?
And the throat. feels like real flesh. My hands are closing around real flesh. I don't know how you did it, Peter.
Jason, you're killing me. Jason, stop.
That finishes you once and for all. Now, a little light. Clear. It's really clear.
Of course, Jason. I've kept my promise, and you've done the job. Now you're rid of me forever. Goodbye, Jason.
Claire, I've really killed you. No. Oh, no.
Well, that's one way to rid yourself of a ghost. Jason Phillips was no longer haunted. However, I certainly don't recommend it, the rule. I do recommend, however, a more generous system of disbelief. One tells you he's hearing voices he can't explain.
I want that sinus medicine.
Headache tablets?
No, sinus medicine. Sinus tablets. Helps the headache and the pressure.
Oh, you mean sign-off.
Exactly.
Headache pain is one thing. A sinus headache is something else. Sometimes your whole face can seem to throb with pain. You want relief. Take Sign-Off tablets. Sineoff, the sinus medicine that gives you a full dose of pure aspirin, plus a sinus drainer. Sign-Off, the sinus medicine that helps relieve sinus pain while you drain. And Sign-Off doesn't stop there. Have you tried Sign-Off Sinus Spray, the fastest known form of sinus congestion relief? It works in seconds. That's Sign-Off Sinus Spray. When sinus flares up, use Sign-Off tablets and spray, only as directed.
Sineoff.
Sign-Off.
Exactly.
Sign-Off, the sinus medicines in the bright red box.
And now, another story of the ball and chain, as Kellogg's Special K presents The Library.
Welcome to the public library. May I help you, sir?
Yes, I'd like to check out... Famous Laundromats of the World by Audrey Schnorbart.
Sir, excuse me, but isn't that ball and chain you're wearing just like the ones they use in the Kellogg's Special K commercial?
This ball and chain?
Yes, that one. How are you going to get rid of it?
Well, lots of good exercises, and by eating smart at every meal, starting with the Special K breakfast.
Don't you have to watch your calories?
Yes, and the Special K breakfast is less than 240 calories.
Less than 240 calories?
Right. A 1-ounce bowl of high-protein Special K, 4 ounces of skim milk, tomato juice, and coffee. It's really tasty, and it's going to help me get rid of this ball and chain. I'd say it's long overdue, get it?
Your happy ending could begin with the Special K breakfast from Kellogg's.
Commuting. We're big on that. Time is money in the business world. That's why Ozark offers commuter flights that get you there and back the same day. Don't ever let a few hundred miles stand between you and big business opportunities. If you're long on work but short on time, let Ozark make your day pay off. Commuting, we're big on that. Go Ozark Jet to Champaign, Urbana, Peoria, and Springfield, Illinois. Call Ozark or your travel agent.
Our cast included Mandel Kramer, Ralph Bell, Evie Juster, and Bob Caliban. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division, the Kellogg Company, makers of Kellogg's Special K cereal, and new sugar-free Diet 7-Up. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
The WR Mystery Theater has been brought to you by ShopRite Supermarkets, where you get a lot more for a little less, and by Suburban Savings, with offices throughout North Jersey. The preceding Mystery Theater program was furnished by the CBS Radio Network.
Lewis in the Mutual Broadcasting System studios in Washington, D.C. Now, my commentary. Well, it's getting so you may need a program to follow the players. In the past few days, some Republican congressional leaders have called on President Nixon to step down from office rather than to face the impeachment process in the House of Representatives and perhaps later the Senate. Today, Democratic leaders said that President Nixon should not shortcut that impeachment process by resigning. They also added that Republicans who have been calling on him to resign are worried about their own future. The note in what appears to be a growing party consensus was sounded by participants in a high-level breakfast at which House Speaker Carl Albert was the host. Speaking with newsmen afterward, Albert reaffirmed his own opposition to resignation in shorter terms than he has yet used, saying it would be disastrous for the president to resign under political pressure. Albert added, if he is not guilty and those facts come out, he would be exonerated. But if he resigns and later it is shown that he was not guilty, it would result in irreparable harm to our country and our political system. Albert added that he is certain that the president is not going to resign. Meanwhile, Democratic National Committee Chairman Robert Strauss praised leaders of his party for what he called remarkable restraint in what obviously has to be an issue with partisan overtones. In contrast, he said, there is a terrible hue and cry by Republicans running for office around the country, trying to put great distance between themselves and President Nixon. For this reason, Strauss added, Democratic leaders have to step forward and express themselves, calling not for resignation, but calling instead for White House cooperation and making information available to speed the impeachment inquiry. Representative Thomas Tip O'Neill of Massachusetts, the House Democratic leader, said that he had one time publicly expressed the opinion that the president's resignation would be good for the country, but he said circumstances have now changed his mind. O'Neill said, I think now that Americans want all the facts to come out, not only for now, but for posterity and for history. Kentucky Governor Wendell Ford, the chairman of the Democratic Governors Conference, said that he has expressed no opinion on the impeachment process because he is seeking the Senate seat held by Republican Marlowe Cook, and so he might conceivably become a juror in the impeachment process. Ford said, Senator Cook and others who asked the president to resign create the impression that they are trying to put some distance between themselves and the president. Also attending today's breakfast were Senate Democrat leader Mike Mansfield of Montana and Senate Democrat Whip Robert Byrd of West Virginia, both of whom said yesterday that the president should not resign. Meanwhile, Senate Republican leader Hugh Scott also said today he opposes presidential resignation. Scott commented, I think our nation is strong enough to withstand the functioning of its own Constitution. The Judiciary Committee met in closed session today for a background briefing on impeachment evidence and also to listen to White House tapes. And White House lawyer James St. Clair reportedly planned to present a document to the committee outlining the president's position on future subpoenas that the panel might consider issuing during its impeachment probe. The first order of business today at a committee session that has been scheduled for tomorrow morning is going to be a vote on whether to subpoena additional material from the White House. Exactly what material is not yet known. The morning session today was devoted to a briefing on impeachment evidence. This afternoon, the committee members listened to various White House tapes. Before going into this afternoon's session, California Republican Representative Charles Wiggins said that he understood presidential attorney St. Clair has a document for the committee bearing on the subpoena process. Wiggins said that he did not know what sort of arguments St. Clair planned to present. California Democrat Representative Jerome Walde, the only committee member who had any comment when the meeting broke up for lunch, said, nothing we heard today has not been heard before by the public. Walde said he understood the afternoon would be devoted to listening to tapes, starting with a recording of a June 20th, 1972 conversation that was held between the president and former White House Chief of Staff H.R. Haldeman. That, of course, is the now famous tape with the 18-and-a-half-minute gap, which a panel of experts has concluded was caused by between 5 and 9 separate erasures. The expert's final report on the gap is due to be released by U.S. District Court Judge John Sirica later this month. Today's meeting was the second closed session by the committee to hear the evidence that its impeachment staff has gathered about President Nixon's Watergate role. The first session was held last Thursday afternoon. This initial phase of the evidence presentation is being devoted exclusively to the Watergate break-in and to the alleged cover-up that occurred subsequently. Later presentations are going to cover such areas as the activities of the White House Plumbers Unit, the president's personal finances and his tax problems, the ITT antitrust settlement, and political contributions from the dairy industry. Representative Waldy, who has opposed closing these sessions to the press and to the public, said that the committee had heard no information so far that would in the slightest defame or degrade anyone. He was referring to a rule of the House of Representatives that requires closed sessions in cases where defamatory or degrading information was being presented. Congressman Waldy added it was a monotonous session. The committee met amid renewed word from the White House that there is absolutely no chance that President Nixon is going to leave office voluntarily.
We believe at the National Bank of Commerce that you've heard enough bad news on the national economy. I'm John Hazard, Chairman of the Board of the National Bank of Commerce, with a positive look at the Dallas economy. Lamar Muse, President of Southwest Airlines, had this to say recently on the positive side of the picture.
We feel very fortunate, of course, to be in Texas. It is one of the fastest growing states as a whole in the nation, and with particular reference to Dallas and Houston and San Antonio, the 3 points we serve. They are very aggressive and progressive cities. The unemployment rate in Dallas is something like 2%, whereas in the rest of the nation overall it's 6%, and some places high as 12 and 13%. But we still have difficulty in hiring qualified people because they're just not available. Everybody's working. I think everything is up.
That was Lamar Muse of Southwest Airlines speaking on the positive side for the National Bank of Commerce. Why? Because at NBC, we're positive.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Listen to a story of greed, innocence, incalculable malevolence, and a mystical, fantastical watch. A watch whose hands held the power of life and death. Our tale is played against the background of the sun-drenched Mediterranean North Shore, around and about the most famous gambling casino of its day. And it takes place some 100 years ago. But the scene is not sun-drenched as our story begins. It's a devil's night out.
Look, John, a driveway lined with statues. Come on. There must be a house where we can seek shelter. Not there. For God's sake, Charles. Why not? That's the haunted villa. You? Superstitious? About that place. Anyway, it's boarded up. Has been for years. There's the house now. Maybe we can find some shelter. Statue nearest the house. The lightning hit it. I can't look. It's as bright as molten steel. It's gone. Melted as it had never been. Let's get out of here, Charles. I could swear I saw that thing jump and run into the house. The whole villa is lighting up. Maybe it's on fire. Don't be silly. It's lamplight. And look, the door is open. Welcome, strangers. Come, this is no night to be abroad. Welcome to the Villa di Despair, the house of despair.
Our mystery drama, The Death Watch, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Ian Martin and stars J. Gregory. It is sponsored in part by Contact, the 12-hour cold capsule, and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
If you take a look at the 1975 cars, you'll notice a European influence. And there are some new American cars that rival the Europeans. One being Buick's new Skylark SR, with its touring car interior and spirited little V6 engine. But don't think of the Skylark SR as a European tourer. We're proud of the fact that it's a Buick. You will be, too.
Buick.
dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
How long would it take you to read a brief 3-page pamphlet on drugs? 3 minutes? 4 minutes? Well, not very long. And it would be time well spent. For your free pamphlet, write Drugs, Box 8200, Albany, New York. That's Drugs, Box 8200, Albany, New York.
But don't wait. Time might be running out. This message nationwide brought to you by the New York State Drug Abuse Control Commission.
A black night, a witch's night, orchestrated with a drum of teeming rain. The wind, a wail of violins, the crash of thunder, a choir of cymbals, and the sudden rebirth of a long-dead house, menacingly named the Villa Desespoir, the Castle of Despair. Surely the perfect setting for the strange and terrifying story I shall leave Charles Fleming to tell you in his own words.
For a brief second, which seemed endless, John and I sat frozen into immobility, staring at the tall, thin figure. The bristling black eyebrows and the deep widow's peak only emphasized the height of his brow, the parchment white of his skin. Beside him lurked a misshapen dwarf with an oversized head. Every instinct told me to turn and run, but every external feeling cried out for shelter.
Come, gentlemen. Kadrash will see to your horses. Kadrash, I will tend the fire. It is well lit by now.
I've got a funny feeling about this, Charles.
So have I. But we're armed, and the horses need rest more than we do. You said it was still at least an hour's ride.
In this weather. But I don't like his looks.
No question. Watch it. The man wants to take the horses.
Don't expect any answers from Kadrash, gentlemen. He is a deaf mute. But you can trust horses to him. They will never have gentler or more loving care. Well, come in out of this bone-chilling rain.
You are most kind to offer us hospitality.
On a night like tonight, it is no more than human decency. Allow me to present myself. I am Count Vladimir Dravanescu.
Honored. I am Charles Fleming, and this is my good friend, Dr. John Potter.
Now, shall we go in the petit salon, or how do you say in English, a parlor? We have started a fire. Yes, I must apologize for the smoke. I have just arrived myself, as you can see, and the wood is as wet as all of us.
By which road did you come?
From Carlo Casino, where I presume you are headed.
Correct. To the home of Colonel Willoughby.
Ah, the countryman of yours with the exquisite daughter. Parbleu, one of you must be the lucky man who is affianced to her.
Well, not I, Count. Charles is the one.
So. You are the fortunate man.
You lived in these parts long, Count Dravanescu?
Oh, scarcely. As you can tell from my name, I'm Romanian. Oh, I visited here many years ago. Now, as soon as Kadrash returns, I can offer you something to eat.
Well, that's kind of you, but I think if the weather will let up, we'll press on to Carlo Casino.
Naturally, you are anxious to rejoin your bride-to-be. But from the looks of things, it will be some time till that will happen. In the meantime, you will make your home in Carlo Casino, Dr. Potter?
No. I have a cabana here for the summer months only because I am both an inveterate sun worshipper and gambler.
A kindred spirit. Then while we are waiting, shall the three of us pass the time by seeing which Lady Luck will smile upon?
Why not, Charles?
It's 2-1.
Then what shall it be? Cards, dice, dominoes, name your choice. A shilling limit on bets?
Fine. No side bets.
The friendliest of games. Now, if you two will pull that gaming table nearer the fire, I will fetch the dice.
What hour have you?
And I make it about 5:30.
Oh, it's dark and gloomy enough to be midnight. Why do they call this place the Villa of Despair?
Just one of those local shockers. They say the man who built it 200 or 300 years ago was an alchemist. The bronze statues which you saw lining the drive were all put up there during his occupancy. Those were bloody times, and people dropped out of sight very easily. A legend grew that these statues were his failures.
Failures? You mean people believed he was trying to turn the human body into gold? And bronze was the closest he got? What rot. What happened to the unsuccessful alchemist?
He just disappeared one day as if the earth had opened up and swallowed him. The villa was bought and sold apparently over the years, then later rented. But all the owners, or lessors, reported the groaning of a man in torment all night long, from midnight to sunrise.
The nonsense that people believe. But our host is coming back. I watched the Count as we played a desultory game of dice with nobody particularly winners or losers. During our game, I had been conscious of a faint, faraway chime of the 3/4 hour, and now suddenly I was hearing it again. With a start, he removed from his vest pocket the most beautiful watch I have ever seen. The case made of chased gold set with precious gems.
6 o'clock. My little friend reminds me he must be wound. Time is of the essence, eh?
Which reminds me it is for us, too. Whether or no, I have a lady I love too well to keep waiting.
And the weather has slackened. You'll be with her within the hour.
Ah, fortunate man. I envy you.
Oh, my darling. My blessed darling Charles. Oh, thank God you're with me again.
Claire, beloved, if it hadn't been for your mother's death, we would already have been together always.
Don't I?
It was clumsy of me. I didn't...
No, darling. It isn't Mother that troubles me. It's Papa. He's become a different man.
How?
Well, it's all mixed up with Mother's death and his own lack of interest in life and the evil that surrounds all this beauty like a blight.
Evil?
The gambling fever. It's a sickness. Father is at the casino every night, wagering wildly and stupidly. I'm almost glad that Count Travinescu bought the old Villa des Espoirs. Although I must admit, the place and the owner give me the creeps.
Yes. For all his charm, there's something uncanny about him. But why are you glad?
Well, the Count and Papa play chess. That's scarcely a gambling game. And probably now that the weather has cleared, Papa will be off right after dinner to the Count's villa. Oh, Charles, I've got so much to tell you. Oh, well, I guess for now we'd better go back and join Papa for the meal. Charles, kiss me first.
Do I have to be asked?
Oh, I hope never. But these days I have such a strange, chill foreboding in me. I need to be sure of your love so desperately.
Claire's mother had died 4 months ago, just before our planned wedding. Naturally, it had to be postponed. And it was not surprising that Mr. Willoughby, plagued by the rheumatism and now the loss of his wife, had fled to the Mediterranean to try to recuperate. What was shocking and ominous for Claire's and my happiness was what I watched in the following weeks. Claire's father had become a compulsive, obsessive gambler. Our invitations to Villa des Espoirs, in spite of Claire's and my feelings of revulsion for the Count, were always a welcome relief. Till this one particular evening. Claire and I had walked out to the patio, high over the blue Mediterranean, as the Count and her father started to play chess. But by the time we returned, the game had become backgammon.
Double. That is 16s.
You don't have to accept. Your position is virtually hopeless.
Ah, life is never hopeless, old friend, as long as you have it. I accept the double. F5 and a 2. You have me blocked. Perhaps I was a fool to accept the double.
What does it matter? It's only a game, as I said. My dice. On the pair of 5s I just rolled, I must double again.
32, and the odds are insuperable. I would have to be superhuman to win. Wouldn't I?
I doubt if even the Lord's help could bring you through. Will you concede?
I suppose I haven't mentioned yet that I am a mathematician and a recognized, although amateur, manipulator of cards. I am also an expert on odds under any circumstances. And what I watched happen to my future father-in-law in that simple game of backgammon was beyond all possibility or chance.
Double 6s, and that clears the board for me. What bad luck. Any other throw for you except that one deuce would have given you the game. And the stakes were ridiculously high. Shall we just forget it?
No. As an Englishman and a man of honor, I pay my debts. How much do you reckon it is in English pounds?
At our original stake, about 150,000.
Damn. I didn't follow that. I can't cover that in cash.
No need.
There's every need. I pay my debts. You will have it once I sell my house.
But, Papa, you can't do that. We have to live.
I'm ashamed. I had no care if I destroyed myself. But I had no thought of hurting you.
No, there is really no need for agony. The debt could be satisfied without any harm financially whatsoever. If you are determined to pay.
I am determined to pay.
I don't see why. It's all so silly. I mean, it's just a game. And
Clara.
Yes, Papa?
I'm asking you to leave us alone.
Yes, Papa.
We'll be in the salon.
Now, sir. What is your proposition?
You have only one possession I covet, sir. Your daughter. I think I can make her far more happy than an untried boy with no established future. If you would give me her hand, or the opportunity to court her openly, why then, it would be I who were completely in your debt.
A bargain. Ridiculous today that could never be struck, let alone even suggested. But 100 years ago, not only possible and frequent, but one to which all parties, by the role of society, were honor-bound to accept. I'll return shortly with Act 2.
When you say Budweiser, when you say Bud, you say a lot of things nobody else can say.
When you say Bud, you've gone as far as you can go to get the very best.
When you say Bud, you tell the world you know what makes it all the way. When you say Bud, you say you care enough to only want the clean of beers. There is no other one. There's only something left. Because the king of beer is the another end. When you say Budweiser, you say
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis. When a man buys a woman a kitchen appliance for Christmas, could be he's got his favorite foods in mind. Well, that may seem a little sneaky and underhanded, but it's smart, too. Frank Lieber here to tell you that you'll find the appliance she needs to make the foods you like at True Value hardware stores. Like a Hamilton Beach baconer to cook great-tasting bacon with no spatter, less shrinkage. She'll just drape the bacon over the Teflon cooking surface. It cooks both sides at once. Or the Hamilton Beach 18-quart roaster. Bakes, roasts, and cooks delicious family-sized meals, yet it's big enough to hold enough food for a crowd.
True Value hardware stores have another Hamilton Beach appliance, too. The Switchblade knife makes fast work out of slicing meat, bread, and more. Has a hole in the handle for balance control. Slices both vertically and horizontally. You'll find these and more at participating True Value hardware stores.
Of course, it's incredible to us today that less than a century ago, parents owned their children almost as slaves. And the children accepted that fact, especially if they happened to be girls. Still, with parents who were reasonable human beings, even under the fashion of the day, most of the young people were not tested in their allegiance, except under unusual conditions, such as an ashamed and trapped Colonel Willoughby finds himself.
For obvious reasons, I was not present when the Colonel told Claire of his bargain with the Count. Had I been, none of the rest of this story might have happened.
I won't, Papa. I won't. You can't make me. You don't have to pay this debt. The Count himself told you.
It's a matter of honor.
Well, I don't think it's that at all. Charles thinks that the Count cheated you.
You can't cheat at backgammon, my dear.
Yes, you can if... well, what did Charles call it? If you switch the dice.
No, even if he could have changed his, as far ahead as I was, it was impossible for him to win without any bad luck with my dice.
But Charles says that he could have palmed your dice.
Charles says. What does he know about it?
Well, he just graduated ahead of his College of Mathematics.
Yeah, to be a teacher. A poor enough living at best. But enough. I must pay him the money.
Well, sell the house. But don't sell me, Papa.
I have to think of your future. The Count is well born, rich. He is a much-traveled, brilliant man who can introduce you to a life of ease and comfort.
I don't want a life of ease and comfort. I want a life of love and happiness. Oh, no, Papa. No, there's no way that you can make me.
Hush, Claire, beloved. I intend to honor my debt. I can do no less. That means I can leave you no dowry. I think we owe it to Charles to let him know that.
Papa, Charles and I don't need anything from you. We can take care of ourselves. Charles has a teaching job waiting, and we don't need much as long as we have each other.
It's midday. I think I'd take a rest in the study before lunch. Go join your intended, darling. I've interfered enough with your holiday.
After Claire had come out and told me of her interview with her father, I had taken some provisions down to the small day sailor and was returning back to the house to pick up Claire and the picnic she had been preparing when the shot came directly from the house, from the area of the study. I started running immediately, and as I reached the terrace, I heard... What happened?
He shot himself.
Let me see, Claire.
No, I'm afraid to. Is he?
No. His pulse is still quite strong. And he's breathing.
Yes.
Don't let him move till I get a doctor.
No.
Thank God John isn't far off. Here, use my handkerchief and my scarf to stem the blood.
Yes.
Use pressure.
I will.
Try to keep him from bleeding any more than you can.
Just hurry. Hurry.
How is he, John?
He's alive. He's lost quite a bit of blood, but that's not serious.
But he's alive.
Yes.
Should he be removed to hospital?
I don't think that's necessary, or even advisable under the circumstances.
What do you mean?
The bullet entered the throat, passed through the mouth, and came out near the temple.
Don't try to hide anything, John. We've got to know sooner or later.
In my opinion, your father will recover, but there's been brain damage.
Oh.
Not unlike an apoplectic stroke. I'd be less than honest if I didn't tell you there'll be a high degree of paralysis in the left side at the least. Your father will be fortunate if he can ever walk again.
Is that all? Don't hold back.
At the best, you'll need someone to nurse and care for him the balance of his life. I'm sorry, but it's safer to face the truth.
I know John. He's my closest friend. And I thought he was being cautious. But he was telling the exact truth. It was soon enough obvious that Colonel Willoughby would be a helpless invalid for the rest of his life. And to care and house him, there seemed only one normal solution.
There just isn't any other way out, Charles. Papa has other debts. The house is heavily mortgaged, and even its sale won't help much. Papa is going to need the kind of care that you and I can't provide for him.
I'd argue that. And for sure, there's one thing. You are not going to marry the Count.
What else can I do? Although he can't find any way to say it. Papa feels that he's made a marriage contract.
I don't understand. I never will. Your father brought all this on himself.
Well, he is my father, and I can't abandon him. I'm writing this, my darling, because I am not brave enough to tell you in person. I have signed a marriage contract with the Count that will provide for my father's care for the rest of his life. For 20 years, he has taken care of me. I cannot shirk my responsibilities to offer him the same in return. I am sending this to you by John's hand. Please, for both our sakes, let it be goodbye, for there is nothing left for us but tears. But oh, I love you so, and always will.
I'll be damned if I'll accept it, John.
What else can you do?
I could shoot the Count.
What would that serve?
Well, then Claire and I could be married, and we'd take care of her father.
We've been over that. It wouldn't work, Charles. Even if you weren't arrested and guillotined.
Well, there must be some way out. I could go to the Count and beg him.
For what? To give up marrying a woman he desires and also settle 30 or 40,000 pounds for the care and maintenance of her half-alive father?
Well, at this point, anything's worth a chance.
I'm afraid this is an impossible gamble. Far better that...
Gamble, of course. That's the answer. Have you a pack of cards?
Yes. They're in the drawer beside you.
I'll take a new deck. Open it. Shuffle the cards. Remember I said I would play anything but cards when the Count suggested that friendly dice game?
Yes?
Well, let me show you why. I could take all night to shuffle these cards, but this will suffice to illustrate. Cut them. Cut them as many times as you want.
Well, what's the point?
Do as I say.
Very well.
This has always been a hobby with me. Up till now. You know the game of poker?
I should. I've lost enough at it.
You needn't have. If I'd been dealing. What do you want? 2 pair? Full house? Flush? Just call it.
You can deal me anything you want?
Provided I can stack the deck.
But that's cheating.
What did you think the Count was doing in the backgammon game he won that ruined the Colonel?
Can you prove it?
Only by playing his game. I couldn't guess his mechanical means, and he won't be able to guess mine.
Bad luck that your horse should throw a shoe, but Kadrash will treat his hoof and have him reshod as good as new. In the meantime, what can I offer you, gentlemen? Sherry, brandy?
I'm not much for drinking by daylight. How about a game of chance to while the time away?
Perhaps, if these stakes are interesting enough.
I think I can make them as interesting as you want.
As for example?
If I win, you tear up Colonel Willoughby's IOU and the contract of marriage to Claire.
And if you lose?
I give you my life.
Charles, wait.
Quiet, John.
What on earth would I do with your life, Mr. Fleming?
As long as I live, you have no hope of winning Claire's love. With me out of the way is your only chance.
Ah, now you tempt me. What is the game?
I suggest bluff, or poker, if you prefer to call it that.
With a third hand?
No, John can be the arbiter, or my second, if you wish. You have Kadrash for yours.
It begins to sound more and more like a duel.
If you would prefer that.
Oh, no, by all means. I wish you no harm. And perhaps you should have your chance. But suppose I refuse?
Then I will kill you first, before myself.
Dear me, such a fire-breather, pistol in hand. I tell you what, I accept all your conditions, but add one of my own. To the winner goes this watch. The same time we met before, it sounded its delicate chimes. Win all, lose all. Your beloved, your father-in-law's medical care, this watch, as against your life. Oh, the more fool I, but I never can resist the wager.
Poker is a game of nerves and minor bluffs, of risks against odds, of learning to sit back and wait, of finding the big hand and losing or winning. If there is no cheating, I played from the beginning for the big kill. My life against all the cash the Count had, plus his papers, plus his exquisite watch with its lovely musical chime. Then, at last, the big hand. The Count sitting pat with the unbeatable flush in spades. I had dealt him. Cards?
I play these.
The dealer takes two. You bet.
£10,000.
Meet you and raise the same. Back and forth we raised. It no longer matters the sum we arrived at. The Count broke first and called me. Diamond flush, royal.
By the devil. You had the nerve to draw two cards to that against my straight flush, 9 to king?
I was gambling for my life.
So you win, then. You have your girl, your freedom to marry, and the watch.
I don't want to accept it.
I know, you must. That is the game as it is played. But I must wind it. How stupid of me. It is no longer my duty. You wind it, sir.
Is that necessary at the moment?
Since you own it, decide for yourself. Open the back.
I opened it. Like all those old hunter watches, after you bent back the rear flange, the works were still covered by a second gold door. On this one were engraved the words, "Wind me at 6, or before the sun sets, or by 12 that same day, your own sun sets."
Which of us is loser or winner, Mr. Fleming, eh? You have your girl. But have a care for your life.
Curiouser and curiouser, said Alice in Wonderland. Stranger and stranger, we can say, as this story turns and twists. Who is Count Dravenescu really? Does the watch have some magic power? Or is superstition enough to create that power in the lovely jeweled watch with its golden hands? I'll return shortly with Act 3.
When you buy a mid-sized car, you expect certain things from it. Mainly, a reasonable combination of comfort and economy. Well, friend, Buick has a mid-size to meet your expectations. The 1975 Century Regal. It's a joy to look at. A joy to ride in, and Buick's new V6 engine makes it a joy to drive, especially past gas stations.
Buick Century Regal, dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
Sure, I've heard that phrase, give to the college of your choice. Good idea. And I know all colleges need more money, what with inflation and all. It's just that since I graduated, I've been so busy, not just with my career, but with the community affairs, too, I haven't found the time to reevaluate.
Take the time now and give more to the college of your choice now.
A public service message of this station and the Advertising Council.
This week, Everett's Jewelers' $1 million sale of outstanding estate jewelry will be shown at Everett's in Preston Center and Highland Park. It's your opportunity to save hundreds of dollars on fabulous estate jewelry assembled from all over the world, featuring an outstanding collection of fine diamonds, opals, emeralds, sapphires, and other precious stones in gold and platinum settings. The entire collection has been priced hundreds of dollars below its actual appraised value, and Everett's offers these outstanding savings just when fine diamonds and other precious gems are one of the best investments you can make, and just in time for special Christmas giving, too. You'll find antiques, contemporary designs, and reproductions. No two are alike. The collection will be shown for just 1 week at Everett's in Preston Center and Highland Park.
We want to be a part of your life.
Everett's $1 million estate sale. Preston Center and Highland Park stores only. Everett's Jewelers.
Every watch that runs, every clock that ticks, tells away the hours of a man's life. But none so specifically as this curious chronometer claims to. If it is really dangerous. Certainly, as Charles reports back joyfully to Claire, nothing is further from his mind than the watch, or that it might have any significance in his future.
I feel as if someone reprieved me from the Bastille. Just before my personal tumbril was about to roll.
You're sure you don't harbor any secret desire for Count Dravanescu?
Oh, what would make you say that?
A slightly guilty conscience.
You?
I had to run my own bluff to get him into the card game.
But you offered your life for me.
My life would have meant nothing to him. Except? Well, I had to say that as long as I was alive, he could never hope for your love or regard.
Which was only the truth.
I hope.
Oh, I want you to believe.
I believe. But? Well, there's something about this man. You have to sense that somehow he has enormous powers, enormous resources.
But he can't touch us now, Charles.
I cheated the Count, you know.
He cheated my father, you said.
Yes, but two wrongs don't make a right. I'm sentimentalist enough to wish I could have won you in fair battle.
Oh, you didn't have to win me, Charles. I was, am, and always will be yours. Nothing can interfere with that. Charles, just to make sure, will you do something for me?
Anything.
Well, you've already proved that. But just once more, will you drive me out to the villa? I want to talk to the Count myself.
There's no need for that.
You're not afraid I'll change my mind?
Of course not, but I only sense that any contact with Count Vladimir Dravanescu is fraught with a kind of inexpressible danger. Feeling like a superstitious fool, I agreed to drive her out the following afternoon. I dressed carefully and scrupulously for the encounter, forgetting no bauble that would suggest that I was more well-to-do than was actually the case, and not forgetting a pistol, because I had no trust in the Count. The one thing I forgot, or who knows, I was spelled into forgetting, was the watch.
So, this is the famous, or should I say infamous, Villa des Espoirs.
Look at the bronze statues.
I'm looking. Oh, they're so lifelike.
Hope that old legend John tells isn't true.
Look, Charles, one of the statues is missing.
That's the one that was struck by lightning first night John and I were here.
Well, let's forget that for a moment. Charles?
Yes, dear?
Will you let me see the Count alone? I think I can make an easier peace between us.
Whatever was said between them left Claire happy and released by the time she returned to me. I suppose he duped her as thoroughly as he duped me, by consuming time. It wasn't until we were leaving that I realized that it was almost 6. It was a late sunset that evening. On the way back, Claire couldn't understand my reckless haste.
Charles, we have to drive so far.
What time is it?
Just before 6.
Damn.
What's the matter?
Oh, just something foolish. You know this road. Can we make it back home before 6?
No, not a chance. Why does it matter? Father has his nerves. Why do we have to hurry so dangerously?
On the way home, I should have told Claire about the watch and its special chimes, which musically told the hour and the legend about its winding, and the 6 hours of life that were left to the one who owned it and forgot to wind it before 6 o'clock. But it seemed such a ridiculous fancy that I decided to forget about it. Except, suddenly, I was assailed by an unreasonable pain in my stomach.
What is it, darling?
I don't know, dear. Just a sort of a cramp.
But you're in pain.
Not anymore. I must have thrown a muscle out of alignment for a moment. I'm fine now. How soon will we be back at the house?
Oh, not about 15 minutes or less.
Good. I couldn't wait to get home to rewind the watch in the hope of gaining some relief. For instead of just my former slight twinge of superstition about the watch's deadly warning, a pain and a sort of creeping paralysis that seemed to be affecting me had changed my mind. I no longer considered that malicious message a joke in bad taste, but perhaps the literal truth. That damnable watch. When I snatched it out of my bureau drawer, it was running. The hands at 6:30. And the chimes, which had sounded so sweet and gentle before now, rang in my ears stridently as if tolling my approaching death. I tried to wind it, but the stem was frozen as I was becoming myself. The agonizing pain was spreading out like some evil flower, and already I felt like a corpse with rigor mortis setting in. Pocketing the watch, I went first to see John.
There's no particular symptom I can put my finger on, except I don't like your reflexes.
What's the matter with them?
Well, they're sluggish. Your pulse and heartbeats are a little slower than normal. I'd like to put you in the hospital for observation.
No.
Certainly by tomorrow, if you don't improve.
If I don't improve by tomorrow, I'll be dead. There's only one person who can help me now. You cheated me into winning that watch from you.
My dear Mr. Fleming, you were the cheat. You cold-decked me.
You knew?
Young man, you are talking to a professional. You were an amateur. Oh, an accomplished one, but still.
I've never cheated in a game of cards in my life before. But I felt I could against you, since I know you cheated Claire's father in that backgammon game.
Certainly I did. All is fair in love and war, correct?
But why did you let me win?
You told me that yourself. To get rid of that watch.
Well, you must help me. Call off the charm or whatever it is.
That is beyond my power.
And I'm doomed. There's nothing I can do. But at least, whether I'm dead or alive, you will never have Claire. Thank God I saved her from you.
So you did. Alas, poor child, she will mourn you, Mr. Fleming. I have no wish to hurt her, so perhaps I can offer you some help.
What? How?
I have the power to give you an extension of 24 hours.
What good is that?
Time enough to go to Monsieur Jassinet, the jeweler, first thing tomorrow morning. Have him act as your agent to sell this quickly. Make the price low enough so that someone will be sure to take it as a bargain.
I hope I'll last till tomorrow. It's almost 7 o'clock. I came to tell you dinner was almost ready. If you're up to it.
Oh, of course I do. But first, Charles, now that Father is... We're not going to wait to get married, are we?
I'm ready tonight. Tomorrow at the latest.
Oh, well, I may need a little more time than that. But I'm glad. Because now I can give you your wedding present. I'm so pleased. I just found it today at Monsieur Jardinet's, and it's such a bargain. Oh, I hope you don't have one like it.
What is it?
It's a watch. Look, how lovely. And listen to that lovely chime. Just like Big Ben. And then, after, it'll strike the hour, and then...
What is it? What's...
Just a pain. It'll go.
Claire, did you wind a watch at 6 o'clock?
No. Monsieur Jardinet said it was wound tightly, and it would run until tomorrow. Oh, Charles, what are you doing? Put me down. Where are we going?
Villa Desespoir and the Count. Pray God he has a little kindness left in him.
You two little fools to deny me what I want. Whatever I cannot have, I destroy.
You refuse to help Claire. Extend her the same time at least you extended me.
I not only refuse, I am going to revel in watching your beloved who dare to turn me down, freeze in immobility, like all the other statues that line the driveway.
At least I can deny you that.
Charles, no! Oh, Charles!
No bullet can touch me, Mr. Fleming. No human agency.
Then kill me with her. I will not live without Claire.
I will be glad to oblige you. After you have watched your beloved die in agony.
You devil!
The Antichrist. That's who he is. But God is on our side. You said no human agency could touch you. But they say God listens to a virgin's prayer. I call on him to strike you dead.
A bolt burst through the window, its jagged blade entering the Count's head, down through his feet, and into the floor. He was one molten blaze of heat from which we had to turn away. And by the time we turned back, he was gone. And with him, the watch and all Claire's pain. Already a raging fire had started, and together we fled to Villa Desespoir. Nor would we have stopped our headlong rush, except for one astounding sight, which has remained in the back of our minds, serving to make sharper and greater our thanks to God for the long and happy marriage we still enjoy. Look, Claire.
Where?
The empty statue base. Empty no longer. John used to sneak in here as a child. No wonder the Count looked familiar to him. Frozen forever again in bronze was Count Dravanescu, his body twisted as if in some inner agony, his face seamed with pain, and the deadly watch in his hand. Villa Desespoir burned to the ground that same night, and the property was disposed of for taxes. All of the statues were sold, except the one of the Count, which could not find a buyer. And so he stands alone in his eternal torture, watch in hand, waiting for a reprieve which will never come again. I'll be back shortly.
Give your hand to a friend. Give your heart to your love. But give your cold contact. The sooner the better.
A common cold is a rotten thing. You miss so much. Sneezing, drips, and congestion can drag you down. Then, ask yourself the contact question. 6 or 3 or 1? You'd need 6 cold tablets, 2 every 4 hours, or 3 ounces of Cold's liquid, 1 every 4 hours, or just 1 contact for up to 12 hours continuous relief of those symptoms. That's daytime, then nighttime relief. Both the others have things for aches and fever, and the liquid, something for coughs. Not found in Contact 600 tiny time pills.
Give your cold to contact.
6 or 3 or 1. Take Contact. Only
me as directed.
The only pity of today's tale, I suppose, is that the Count Vladim Dravanescu, as he called himself, could only have been a minor demon. What a pity it wasn't the head man himself. But, as all of us can plainly see every day, the devil's work is never done. I'm sure we'll be meeting him in one form or another in other tales, but then perhaps we shouldn't object too much. He does put a lot of excitement into our tales. Our cast included Jay Gregory, Marion Seldes, Robert Dryden, and Ian Martin. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. And now, a preview of our next tale.
Why must he die?
He will not die. He becomes part of the body and the spirit, the flesh and the blood of Tezcatlipoca.
No!
Are you a royal princess or a slave girl?
Don't go, Gold Eagle. Refuse.
Refuse? Refuse? Yes, you may refuse, Gold Eagle, and spend the rest of your life as a slave.
But it will be life.
And you will spend every lifetime till eternity as a fugitive from the wrath of Tezcatlipoca. Gold Eagle.
His heart will be of no use to Tezcatlipoca if he is not freely given.
The sun is about to reach its highest point. You must decide, Gold Eagle. At this moment, we must know your decision.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
What's in your lunchbox? Liverwurst on rye, potato chips, and an orange. What's in yours?
I got a piece of paper.
You got a what?
Yeah, a piece of newspaper. My wife must be cracking.
Well, what does it say?
Well, it's an ad for Bonanza, the fancy steak place.
Yeah.
Says they got a steak luncheon for $1.19.
Hey.
$1.19 for a steak at Bonanza.
Let me see that.
Yeah.
No, see? This is right.
Where?
You get a steak, a tossed salad, Texas toast. Here, look at this. You get free refills on soda. Let's go.
What about your liverwurst?
You crazy? A steak for $1.19 and you want me to eat liverwurst? Let's go before they change their mind.
The Bonanza steak lunch for $1.19 is real. You get a delicious Bonanza steak, a crisp tossed salad, and our Texas toast for about the same price you pay to bring lunch in a brown bag. $1.19. You can't beat Bonanza.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Time, a great writer once said, has no divisions to mark its passage. There is never a thunderstorm or a blare of trumpets to announce the beginning of a new month or year. Even when a new century begins, it is only we mortals who ring bells and fire off pistols. Time, how some of us can't wait for it to pass. How desperately some of us try to make it stand still.
Oh. Hello. This is a surprise.
Is it?
Well, I suppose not. Why don't you come in?
I heard your husband wasn't going to be home.
Which means we have the whole evening.
You know, the minute I met you, I knew this would happen.
So did I.
I'm scared. Are we starting something we can't finish?
Well, let's finish one part of it anyhow.
Our mystery drama, The Long Blue Line, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Sam Dan and stars Mandel Kramer. O'Neill left County Wexford in 1846 at the height of the famine. He arrived in the city of Brooklyn, where in time he became a police officer. Although he would never know it, since he fell at the Battle of Gettysburg in 1863, he had founded a dynasty. He has been followed on the police force by 4 succeeding generations, father and son, for over a century. It has never occurred to a descendant of Barney O'Neill to be anything but a cop. And for over 100 years, fathers and sons, the O'Neills have been the pride of New York's finest.
Dad, come in.
Hello, Terence. Now, where's my grandson?
Upstairs being put to bed.
Well, what am I standing down here for?
Yeah, please, Dad, if he sees you, he won't go to sleep for hours. Will you drop by in the morning?
But that's a long, cruel time to wait.
Well, how was the vacation?
Well, it was the first time I ever went anyplace without your mother.
Yeah, I know.
It'll take a bit of getting used to, Terence. I almost flew back the very first night. But then I thought there wouldn't be anyone in the apartment either.
Dad, do you suppose you should give up the apartment? I mean...
Give up the apartment? My boy, that's where all my memories are. Well, on what meat do the O'Neills dine this evening?
Well, Karen made corned beef and cabbage.
Oh, now what did you want to go and do that for?
Now, look, I simply cannot convince my lady that it's possible to be named O'Neill and not care for it. Look, would you pretend to enjoy it, will you, huh?
Oh, you know me, Terence. Everyone says I should have been a Broadway actor. Well, Detective Lieutenant O'Neill, what have you been up to the past couple of weeks?
Oh, just wait till I tell you. Inspector O'Neill? Well, I'm on special assignment.
Doing what?
It has to do with, serendipity.
That would be one of your college words.
True. But it's the basis of so much of police work. It means you go looking for one thing and you find another.
Well, I've been operating that way all my life. I didn't know there was such a fancy word to it.
Do you remember Oliver Barlow?
Oliver Barlow?
Mm-hmm.
What about Oliver Barlow?
Yeah, well, he was murdered, about 9 years ago.
Ernest Oliver Barlow. Stage actor, British subject, murdered. Shot to death by a .32 caliber revolver bullet by person or persons unknown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, those are the facts, Dad. Oh, I see you remember.
I also remember that the killer was never caught.
Yeah, that's right, and the case was dropped out of the active file.
Yes, so many of them do, Lord forgive us.
Well, the case has been reactivated.
After all these years? Why?
Serendipity. Now, there's a Senate Committee on National Security, and suddenly, out of nowhere, that name surfaced. Ernest Oliver Barlow.
In what connection?
Well, they're tracing things back the past 20 years, and his name came up as someone who used to be a courier.
What else have they got?
Nothing. It seems that he was getting ready to come over to our side. So this puts the whole thing on another basis.
But it's a case for the Federals.
Well, they asked the commissioner to lend him a hand, so I was elected. Did you know him, Barlow?
Oh, you know, the way you know actors on Broadway.
Yeah. What did you think of him?
I didn't like him.
Oh, why not?
He struck me as, kind of shady, shifty, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I would have figured him for a courier, but not espionage. Drugs, maybe, smuggling, one of those.
Well, did you have any evidence?
Nope, none at all.
Dad, I'm going to need some help.
Well, don't hesitate.
Oh, I think I hear Karen coming downstairs. Hey, look, make a fuss over the corned beef and cabbage.
Oh, don't I always? I look at my son and I'm very proud. I think he'll be a better cop than any of us. Certainly a better one than I am. What did he know of Oliver Barlow? That was 9 years ago. Terence was still going to college. 9 years ago. I was walking down Broadway. I stopped at the newsstand on 47. Hello, Swifty.
Hi, Pat.
Well, what's the good word?
Betty's boyfriend in the 5th at Aqueduct.
Ah, that'll be just another milestone on your road to the poorhouse.
No. As soon as I get even, I'm going to quit. Oh, hey, look.
What? Where?
See, heading this way. What a couple, huh?
Who are they?
That's Oliver Barlow and his wife, what's her name? Leda Jones. They're starring in a new show, the 47th Street Theater. She's some dish, huh?
Yeah. Well, I'll see you around, Swifty.
Hey, how's Katie?
She's okay.
Tell her I was asking for her, huh? And tell her to hang in there.
Sure.
Pat, listen. You hang in there, too.
Yep. You hang in there, too. He had a funny tone in his voice when he said it. Could he tell? Was it obvious? How had I looked at Leda Jones? I mean, certainly it's legitimate to admire a beautiful woman. But was there more than admiration? I have to be careful. Katie. Terence looks so much like Katie. What is Terence saying to me?
Dad, I have to peel back 9 years. How do I start?
Look, shouldn't we be helping Karen with the dishes?
Hey, all she's doing is stacking them in the machine.
Well, that's still an all...
No. We'd only get in her way. I say, you must be tired. Did you have a long trip?
Well, I guess I must be getting old.
Oh, come on, never.
Maybe I better get me a good night's sleep. Tomorrow, I'm a working man once again, you know.
Well, do you want to have lunch?
Sure.
And you can set me off in the right direction on this thing, okay?
Sure. All right, son. I'll see you.
Dad, do you want to stay here tonight?
No. I want to get back to the apartment. Back to the apartment. Of course, Katie won't be there. But that's where I spent my whole life with her. I'd walk down Broadway, and before I'd turn west, I'd stop for a quart of vanilla ice cream. And I'd pick up the papers from Swifty. I still do that. Hello, Swifty.
Hi, Pat.
What's the good word?
Hummingbird in the 4th at Belmont.
Do you think you'll ever break even?
I ain't gonna live long enough.
I guess none of us will. What's new?
No. There's a new hit around the corner.
Oh, yes?
You remember this Leda Jones? She was married to that Oliver Barlow, the one that got knocked off.
Yes.
I'm going back 8-10 years maybe, and nobody ever caught the guy.
What about her?
She's the star in it. I want to tell you, Pat, I ain't never seen such reviews, and I've been here on the street. It'll be over 60 years. You know something? She's as great looking as ever. She'll never get old, that one. You had a thing for her, huh?
Who, me?
Not that you ever done anything about it. I know how it was with you and Katie.
Leda Jones. Leda. Would you remember me? How could you forget? It's almost 10 years. A long time. A lifetime. And certainly it couldn't have meant as much to her as it did to me. Is it 10 years ago that the old man sent me out on the call to her dressing room?
Come in.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, please don't go. I'll slip into this room.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
It's just that I like to relax freely between performances.
I'm Captain O'Neill of the burglary squad.
No, did I embarrass you, Captain?
Now, just exactly what was it that was stolen?
Oh, I see. One of those, let's keep this strictly business types. My watch and my bracelet.
Do you have a description of those things?
And possibly more. You see, I won't know until I go home this evening and check my jewel box. I never know what I'm wearing. I'm frightfully forgetful. May I offer you a drink?
Not on duty. I'll need a list of the stolen articles and a description of each.
And you shall have them. I will instruct whoever the chap is that handles my insurance to satisfy you in this affair.
Tell me, where might they have been stolen?
Well, here, I would assume.
Mm-hmm. And who has access to this room?
My maid, my husband, and I suppose the cast, the crew, just about anybody else who happens to be passing by.
Well, considering all this, do you think it was wise for you to leave valuable things lying around?
Of course not. I don't believe I've ever done a wise thing in my life.
Well, hello, Joe. Oh, I didn't know you were engaged.
Darling, this is Captain O'Neill of the police. Captain, my husband, Oliver Barlow.
Mr. Barlow?
The captain is here to investigate that tiresome business of the jewels.
Well, I rather thought he might be here on more interesting business. However, I shall not be going up to the house after this evening's performance.
Oh?
Yes. A situation has arisen. It may run late. And what with one thing and another, I thought I'd stay in town.
What's her name, by the way?
Oh, now, my darling. Was I ever one to kiss and tell? Yes, well, goodbye, Captain O'Neill.
Goodbye. You'll get me the list and the description?
Certainly.
Well, I guess there isn't anything more I can do at this time.
There isn't? Well, good night, Captain.
Good night, Miss Johns. That look, that slow smile. It's been 10 years, and I can never forget it. I walked out of the dressing room, out of the theater, and I walked home. I went upstairs into the apartment, and there she was, my Katie. Poor Katie.
Hello, Pat.
How is it tonight, darling?
Well, it's no better, but it's no worse. I wish it would go one way or the other. Well, the doctor says I can go on like this for 10 years.
Do you need anything, Kate?
No. Mrs. Sullivan made me comfortable before she left. I'm so sorry, Pat.
For what?
I've let you down.
Now, what kind of way is that to talk?
Well, what kind of a wife am I to you now?
I love you, Katie.
And I love you, Pat.
There's nothing we can do about it.
Yes. You just said it. There's nothing we can do about it.
Would you like me to make you a cup of tea?
Well, yes, if you like.
I looked at her. The full cheeks were now hollow. That beautiful round face was now lean and lined. She was a shadow of the lovely Kate I'd married 25 years before. Oh, we were in love. So much in love. I guess that's why I took it so hard. Why I was at such loose ends. We drank the tea, and we talked. And then I gave her pill. The potent pill that would overpower the pain for the next 8 hours. For the next 8 hours, she would be dead to the world. She would never miss me.
Well.
Hello.
This is a surprise.
Is it?
No, I suppose not. Won't you come in?
You, expected me?
Of course.
I heard your husband say he wouldn't be home.
Well, if he were, he'd excuse himself. He'd go up to his room.
Oh. That's how it is.
Oh, my dear, that's how it always was. We make a good team on stage, and so it's more economical to be married.
I'll have you know something. I don't know what got into me. I have never... It's just that I walked into your dressing room and saw you sitting like that.
Well, at any rate, here you are.
The minute I saw you, I knew this would happen.
So did I. You see, it's destiny. And now why don't we stop talking about it?
If this were a motion picture, that is, an old-fashioned motion picture, we would now cut to waves pounding on the beach. Well, here we have Inspector O'Neill reliving an incident that happened 10 years ago. By this time, we know it must have some bearing on an unsolved murder. But what? Serendipity, a term coined by Horace Walpole, inspired by his tale of the three princesses of Serendip, who seemed to have an aptitude for making fortunate discoveries by accident. And by accident, a 10-year-old unsolved murder is suddenly opened up. And it will involve two detectives, one a lieutenant, who is in charge of the investigation, the other an inspector, who happens to be his father.
I came home later that night, or early the next morning. I was angry with myself. I had never, in overt deed or unspoken desire, ever been unfaithful to my wife before. And now I had broken my vow. And the terrible part of it was, I knew I would go back there again. To this laughing, wanton English lady. I would go to her again and again at the peril of my immortal soul. That was 10 years ago. Now I must meet my son. And we will talk. And I will help him set in motion a chain of events that shall lead to my indictment for murder. I can't help myself. Well, we didn't need such an expensive place, Terence.
Well, I'm going to pick your brains, Dad.
Well, go ahead. What is it you want to know?
How do I go about this case? Where do I start?
Well, you're going back in time 10 years, so start with, well, you could call it the environment. Broadway, the theatrical district, where he worked. And then go uptown to the Riverdale section where he rented the house, near where his body was found. You follow this?
For sure.
Reconstruct the time and the place. The days, the nights, talk to people who were around back then. Just think 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Spend some time in the library. Go through copies of newspapers and magazines. Spend the next week doing nothing. Just put in your time getting the feel of it.
A whole week?
Terence, this is a different job from any you've ever been on before. It's been unsolved for 10 years. They can't expect you to make a collar by tomorrow. I watch his face. I see how he reacts. He nods his head. He understands. He's going to crack it. I know that. He's going to find the leads. And he's going to go with them wherever they take him. Even if they take him to me. Hello, Swifty.
Hiya, Pat.
What's the good word?
Mary Bell and the Fort at Saratoga.
Oh, Swifty, after all these years, don't you know that I never bet on them?
Yeah, that's right. I guess my memory ain't what it used to be. Hey, I do remember something, Pat. Do you know that actress, that Lita Jones?
What about her?
She always stops by for the paper. She says, I'm her good luck charm, you know?
Yes.
So, when was it? This afternoon or yesterday? Anyway, she says to me, whatever happened to that handsome detective? You must have made some impression on her, hey, Pat?
Yes. I'll see you around, Swifty. Just a minute.
Oh, hello, Dad.
Terence, come on in.
Hey, thanks.
Everything okay?
Yeah, I was in the neighborhood. Dad, I am doing exactly what you said.
Well, it's just common sense.
Well, tonight I stopped by the 47th Street Theater to see this Lita Jones. She was married to him when he was killed.
Yes.
So she's a natural person to talk to.
Right.
Well, I said to her, did she have any idea who could have killed Oliver Barlow? She said, open the phone book, pick a name at random. And then as I was leaving, she said, Lieutenant O'Neill, would you be related to a Captain O'Neill? Well, I said, you are my father. And she said, give her my regards. You knew her?
Well, she'd reported a burglary, and I had been sent down to see her.
Yeah, I read about that in the file, but it didn't mention the cop who worked on it. What can you tell me, huh?
What do you want to know?
The burglary.
Well, some stuff had been taken. A watch, a bracelet, a necklace.
Yeah?
It seems she'd left it lying around the dressing room and it never turned up again. Anywhere. Insurance company paid off. That was the end of it.
Well, did you have a theory?
Well, he may have swiped it, her husband.
Why?
He was the type. But it could have been anybody. After all, she did leave it lying around, as I said. What did you think of her?
Oh, she's a good-looking woman. Look, I've been going through the columns and such, and they say that she and Barlow went their separate ways. Now, look, maybe we have got a jealous lover who wanted to knock off her husband.
I thought he was killed because he was a foreign agent about to come over to our side.
Dad, I'll run with whatever lead I can get.
Yes, he will. And he's starting to find them. I could head him off. I could confuse the trail. I could lead him to one blind alley after another. And sooner or later, the case would lose all its steam and just disappear. The way it did the first time. Why don't I stop him? I can't. I just can't. Inspector O'Neill.
You've been promoted?
Who is this?
Why do you say that? You know who it is.
Yes, I do.
I saw your son. What a marvelous young man.
Yes, he is.
And he's followed Dad in the force. What a great tradition. I like him.
Lida, what do you want?
Why don't you come up to the house tonight and we can talk about it?
No, I'm busy.
You know, Pat, I've never gotten over you.
Lida.
Yes, darling.
Please. Lida, please don't call me anymore. Please. Lida, I hadn't seen her since that night. How could I see her after it happened? How can I see her now? How can I be false to Katie's memory? Listen to me. I was unfaithful to Katie while she was alive. Does it matter now? Yes. I must never see Lida again. Never. Not after that night. That night, Katie was better. Or was she putting it on for my sake?
Pat.
What is it, Kate, darling?
Why don't you go out tonight?
Go out?
To a movie or a ball game?
No, I can watch all that stuff on the TV.
No, you should be with people. You like to be with people.
I don't want to leave you alone.
Once I take the pill, I go into some deep, dark place. I don't know anything. I don't feel anything.
Katie.
I wish sometimes that I'd never come back.
Don't talk like that.
Pat. I think it's starting. Do let me have the pill.
Yes, darling. Yes. Here you are.
Oh. There, now I'll feel better in just a minute. Oh, in just a minute.
And in just a minute, she was dead to the world. And in just a few minutes, I went downstairs and got into my car and headed north along the highway to the countrified section of New York, Riverdale, up in the Bronx. Lida was waiting for me as usual. The hours went by quickly, as they always did when we were together. But once again, it was time for me to go.
Will I see you tomorrow?
Yes?
We're getting to be like settled married folk, aren't we?
Lida, I shouldn't be seeing you.
Why not?
Because it's wrong.
Well, it isn't wrong exactly. It's more naughty than anything else.
But we shouldn't be doing it.
Well, then let's stop.
I can't.
Why not?
Because I love you. I have fallen in love with you.
Oh, dear, you shouldn't have done that.
I can't help it.
I mean, it gets to be such a bore when people fall in love.
But I said I couldn't help it.
Oh, don't worry, darling. You're not really in love with me. You think you are. And I'm just, how do you Americans say it? I'm just batting. Well, no, pinch hitting for Katie. I love your slang.
I wish I'd never started this.
Darling, that isn't true.
Yes.
Well, it's time for you to go. Katie should be awake again within the hour, poor girl. I do wish there was something could be done for her.
You really mean that, don't you?
Well, of course I do.
You're the craziest woman I ever met in my life. I can't figure you out.
Don't bother. Just kiss me goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, hello, Captain.
What are you doing in my car?
Well, I could have asked, what are you doing in my house? But I didn't.
Well?
Just why don't you get in and sit down?
Yeah.
I thought I'd wait for you to come out. Of course, you could always say that you are here on that business of the jewelry. I would have accepted that explanation, even though it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, Mr. Barlow?
Actually, you wouldn't owe me an explanation. Leda and I have our own lives. You see, we really know so little about each other. It's hard to believe we're so intimate on the stage and such strangers when we're off it.
What is it you want to talk about?
I could take a position, Captain. The position of a man who's found someone who is having an affair with his wife. I could seek redress in the courts, get a divorce, and so on and so on.
But you're not in love with her. You don't even care about her.
Yes, of course. But I'm entitled to take the position of betrayed and outraged husband, if I want to.
Why would you want to?
I don't.
Then why are we having this conversation?
Well, you're not her first affair. Or even her second, third, or fourth. A gentleman doesn't count. Well, I do know you won't be her last.
What is your point?
She seems to have a weakness for men.
Is that because you're not man enough for her?
Captain, I'm about to talk business. Therefore, you shouldn't bring personalities into this.
Business?
Precisely.
What sort of business could I possibly have with you?
And on that question, we must lower the curtain for our usual brief intermission. And during the interval, we may well ponder the nature of this proposed business. What business could a stage actor have with a police detective? If you've been following all the loose ends in our story, you can see a great many possibilities. It may be instructive to explore. Does the literature of crime contain any great criminals who were actors? Well, Mr. Booth, perhaps, but he was merely a one-time fanatic, and assassination doesn't count. How many master thieves, safecrackers, confidence men were actors? Well, they could all act, but were there any professional stage actors in their ranks? We're about to meet one now. Mr. Ernest Oliver Barlow.
And now, Captain, shall we talk business?
What kind of business?
Well, from time to time, I may require some information.
What sort of information?
Oh, about various things.
So far, you've said nothing.
Well, I might want to know about the current status of certain investigations.
What sort of investigations? And don't say various investigations either.
When I walked into the dressing room that day and saw you, I knew you were going to have an affair with my wife.
Yes?
But the signs were there.
Let's get to the facts.
Well, somehow she always chooses married men, which is fortuitous for me because I can always turn that to my advantage.
Let's cut it short right here. You're going to make me an offer of some kind, right?
Yes, righto.
Get out of my car. You've got that English accent and those expensive clothes. You pass yourself off as a gentleman, but you're nothing but a punk.
Well, you flatter me. In many ways, I'm even worse.
Look, I'm a fourth-generation cop. Do you know what that means?
You Americans, you also worship traditions. The few that you have.
No one in my family has ever taken a nickel. And no one ever will. The O'Neills that came before me and all the O'Neills that will come after.
Bravo. What a curtain speech that would make. But I'm not about to offer you any money.
No? Then what?
Peace.
Peace?
As I should say, peace of mind. For example, suppose this little tete-a-tete you have so often with my wife were to become known to your wife.
What are you saying?
Now, why do you ask that question? You know what I'm saying. Now, I've made sure that a certain item will appear in one of the gossip columns. Is it true that lovely Leda Jones has absolutely gone bonkers on a New York cop? Now, suppose your wife were to read that.
She doesn't read those papers.
Well, it could be called to her attention.
And why does that cop have to be me?
I'll tell her that. You see, by that I mean I'll see to it that she's told.
I'll deny it.
Will you?
Absolutely.
You know you can't lie to Katie. You'll confess it. Now then, shall we discuss business? Well?
What do you want?
The department has a squad. It isn't publicized very much, for obvious reasons. It's called the Subversive Activities Squad. We would like to know more about it.
Who would like to know more about it?
The people you're going to work for.
I won't do it. And what's more, I'm putting you under arrest.
Well, now that you've let off steam, let us continue.
Now, you listen.
No. You listen, Captain. Now, what can you charge me with? This conversation? How could you ever prove it? I, on the other hand, need no proof to convince Katie. Because if the question comes up, you'll break down and confess. I'll expect you here tomorrow night with the required information.
Tomorrow night?
Yes, you're going to be here anyhow. Why waste the trip?
I knew I was not going to betray my badge. Nothing in this world could ever make me do that. I'd turn my service revolver on myself first. And Katie, it was a terrible thing I had done to her. But she must never know. I would have to be dead first. And as I kept turning it over and over in my mind, death seemed to be the only way out. And then the thought occurred to me, why should it be my death? That night when I went out after Katie's pill, I didn't carry my usual off-duty revolver. I got myself a very special gun. A safe gun. One that no one could ever trace. And I went to see Leda.
Patrick, there seems to be something different about you tonight.
Yes? What?
Something. I can't describe it. You're very quiet and thoughtful. So much more tender. You know something, darling? I think I've fallen in love with you. Don't be alarmed. It doesn't mean anything, my falling in love. It never lasts more than 6 months.
Leda. Leda, I've got to go.
Now listen. Be careful.
I'm always careful.
Yes, I know, but tonight, be more careful.
Why do you say that?
Why?
Yes, why?
I don't know.
Tell me why.
I'm afraid I'll never see you again.
She was right. But how could she know I'd never be able to see her again? Not after tonight. How could she know that? I guess women have their ways of knowing. They usually know everything. I left the house. I walked down the gravel pathway, and I opened the door to my car.
Good evening, Captain.
I see you're here.
Well, I said I'd be here, and I've kept my promise. Have you kept yours? Do you have that list?
Yes.
Good. Where is it?
Right here. Now, where's his car? Right here by the garage. I'll make it look as if he just got out of his car. Where's his wallet? Yes, and his watch. That ring. Let's see, what else? Oh, yes, cufflinks. No crook would leave those behind. All right. Now, we'll see how well the silencer on this works. I guess that's all there is to it.
Good morning, Pat.
Good morning, Kate. Would you like something to eat?
No, I'll wait for Mrs. Sullivan to fix breakfast. Poor Pat. You look so tired.
Oh, I'm okay.
Promise me you won't be mad.
About what?
About what I'm going to say.
Now, how could I ever be mad at anything you ever say?
Well, then that gives me the courage to say it. Pat, don't stop seeing her.
Katie.
I don't want to know her name. It's not important. But I do know that you need her. And I just know that she's very sweet to you and warm and tender.
Oh, Katie.
So I'm happy for you, Pat. So don't stop seeing her.
No, I must, Katie, I must.
Why?
Because it's a sin.
Well, yes, but it's not a great sin. And it's one you'll be forgiven for.
But I won't be forgiven for the other sin.
What other sin?
The one I had to commit for the sake of this one.
But what sin is that?
No, Kate, don't ask me. I can't tell you. I can never tell you. And I never did. She lived for 10 more years. And I never told her. And I never saw Lida again. The show closed after the murder. It was classified as an armed robbery and forgotten. Lida went back to England. Now, 10 years later, I sit here in my apartment, waiting for my son to come and arrest me. He has all the leads, and he's the best detective of us all. Of all the O'Neills. Just a minute.
Hey, hi, Dad.
Terence, come in.
You sure I'm not disturbing anything?
Sure. How's Karen?
Fine.
And little Patrick?
He misses his granddad. You know, you haven't been over lately. Why not?
Oh, I've just been hanging around the house.
Why?
Just like that.
Oh. Well, I went in to see the old man.
Yes?
Yeah, I told him I wanted to be taken off this Oliver Barlow case.
Why?
I can't get anywhere.
Why not?
It is too old, Dad. The trails are too cold. The guy was such a flake, anybody could have killed him for any number of reasons.
Yeah.
Besides, let the feds worry about it. If he was a courier, there's got to be an international aspect to it. It's all beyond me.
And besides, you don't want to arrest your old man.
What did you say?
Come on, Terence. I raised you, boy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll tell you how you did it. You went to see Lida Jones, and she asked about me. And something in her voice, her face, her eyes made you think to yourself,
Oh, listen, Dad.
And if you read the old papers, you must have seen that item. Is it true that Lida Jones is gone on a good-looking New York cop?
Now, don't say that, Dad.
And then you started to think, could it be me? And Oliver Barlow. Maybe he was blackmailing me.
Oh, come on, Dad. You never had that kind of money.
But I'm a cop. And if he was an agent, I might know things that could be important to him.
Dad, what's gotten into you?
And then you know something else about me, Terence. You know if it was me that I'd want to be caught one day. And so you came up here and you searched the apartment. And you found the gun I used. And his watch and his wallet and his solid gold cufflinks.
Dad, you don't feel well. Guess Mother's death affected you more than anyone thought.
Are you trying to tell me you didn't come here? Well, I'll show you these things. I have them in a box that I keep in this closet.
Dad.
Well, the box that isn't here. Terence, what did you do with the box? And with the gun and the other things?
I am not going to take you in, Dad. I can't.
What did you do with them?
They're gone. They're bottom of the East River.
Terence.
How can I arrest my own father?
You have to, son. Or you'll have to quit the force. And you can't do that. Son, it's not your collar. It's really mine. I wanted to be caught. You know that. Look up on the wall there. Barney and John and Dennis O'Neill, they keep looking at me as if to say, well, Patrick, you've got to do it.
Yeah, but to do this for a punk like Oliver Barlow. Oh, yes, he was quite a gentleman on the outside, but a punk underneath it all.
My characterization of him exactly. Come on, son, take me in.
Dad, look at those pictures again. Barney, John, and Dennis. You are going to disgrace them.
No, Terence. I would disgrace them if I didn't give myself up. Now, you do understand that?
Yes, Dad. I understand.
Then what are we waiting for?
Do you want me to read you your rights?
There are those who say we are creatures of habit. Another way of saying that we act in keeping with our basic nature. For some, it is impossible to lie. For others, it is impossible to tell the truth. For Patrick O'Neill, it was impossible to betray a trust. Oh, he could hold it in abeyance for a while, but sooner or later, he would follow the call of his duty. For some people, a job is a piece of work that occupies the time for 8 or any given number of hours. It is a task to be performed and forgotten. But to others, a job is a sacred duty, and how well it is done provides for them a measure of their morality. It is fashionable for the cynical to scoff at those who take their jobs seriously, but just think, without such people, how would the rest of us live? Our cast included Mandel Kramer, Marion Seldes, and Earl Hammond. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.
This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.